Alright, hello. How is everybody? Give me 1 sec, I have to figure some things out here. Newt. That is not showing up. God damn it, I knew it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to pay special attention to my YouTube chats because for some reason, Streamlabs is not catching it. Can I pop this out at least? Please hold. Every week it's something. Lots of news in the last week? I know. A lot of exciting stuff happens. You know, I hang up, I go offline, and all of a sudden the US owns a whole new territory. Literally, I go to bed and we wake up and we just own a country now. Amazing. Alright, time for me to open up a Coke. Hella autism? Oh yes. I am good too, thank you, dear Imperium. Dear Imperium. Sheik says he's getting accepted into law school. Nice. That was a nice job. Are you like a Saul Goodman, wink wink, nudge nudge kind of lawyer, or are you gonna be by the books? It's always good to have lawyers in the family, you know? Ever since I moved to the US, that's what I noticed, is you are so dependent on fucking attorneys in this country to do anything from paying taxes, from like figuring out what to do with taxes, immigration, just like getting ID and changing your address and this and that and just like everything. And then here I am, at the mercy of various attorneys. I've seen a couple of streams with that issue lately. Yeah. Did Stranger Things copyright strike the last VOD? Thank you for immediately putting me in a bad fucking mood. Yes, they did. They fucking struck my... Listen to me. I sit here like a fucking dunce, right? No, I hate the fucking chat. I sit here like a dunce and I commentate over, what was it, like 30, 40 seconds worth of a Stranger Things clip, and they copyright struck it, which is like the definition of fair use, by the way. It's like me playing a brief, teeny tiny clip of something and just yapping over it and saying, hey, this low-key sucks. It kind of looks like a fucking CW show. Like, what's up with that? What does this look like an Asylum movie? What's with the CGI? Why is it so fucking dog shit? Why is the dialogue bad? Why is the acting bad? Why is this girl not acting at all? Does she have Botox face? And they copyright struck it, and then they took it down. And honestly, it's not even worth, like, contesting it. Because contesting it is, like, the company gets, like, I think up to 10 or 14 days to fucking say, to reply. And in that meantime, what's it fucking matter? Like, anybody who wanted to see that fucking VOD, they're not going to wait around 2 weeks in case it unlocks. So now I just tell people, look, go to Kick for VODs. Here's my love-hate relationship with, Kick. Nobody watches me on Kick. I think on Kick, let me see. 3. I have 3 active viewers on Kick, right? Nobody subscribes there. Nobody donates anything over on Kick. I don't even know. I don't know how the algorithm works. Over on Kick, I think I have to, like, drive drunk or use slurs to be recommended, but I'm not about to do that. But Kick is useful for one thing, because they're basically a VOD host at this point that doesn't give a shit about copyright striking. Twitch removed it too. They didn't remove it, but they made it private for some reason. I don't know if I set it up that way, actually, or if it's just an automated system that immediately delists the VOD. I'm not sure. But yeah, Kick for the VODs. In case you ever wonder, like, where'd that video go? Usually it's still up on Kick, because those people just don't give a fuck about any of this. Oh wait, my fucking Streamlabs finally caught up, so I can see YouTube comments now. Perfect. Man, life sure is strange. I want to do public interest law, prosecution, public defender, maybe eventually a judge. Nice. No interest in copyright law. Fuck that. I feel like that's where all the big money is, though, but yeah, I feel you. When the fuck are more criminally stupid episodes coming out? We just recorded one yesterday, along with the movie night. We watched some doc shit called Predator Wastelands. Okay, so first of all, some housekeeping. How does this new time work for every pony? Better? Worse? Because I'm now finally, ever since the move, I'm finally in a position where I can have my recording space where it keeps nobody else up in the house. I'm pretty much on the ass end of the house where I'm completely far away, nice and tucked away from everybody, from all the normal people who are trying to sleep. So I can be here at like 10, 11, up, drinking my fucking coffee like a maniac. Hello, Chungus. Did you talk about the luring center in Minnesota last week? No, I have not. I feel like it was oversaturated by the time I went live, and then yesterday... Was it yesterday or the day before? They ran over that one fucking woman, and now everyone's already discussed that one. I don't know. But I have a few topics, don't worry. I think... let me see. I'm gonna make fun of Germany, there's a cool robot, there's some stuff with AI, of course, you know. We're taking over Greenland. RFK just announced a new food pyramid. I found that very interesting, but you know what? To start us all off, that's not the browser I wanted that opened in. Asshole. In case you're wondering what the music is, I'm watching this person play on what looks to be like a digital organ, playing various Japanese game songs. We're taking over Greenland? You've not heard about this? Okay, look at something. I was watching this person play this and I was like, holy shit, how do you even learn to do this? That is such a dexterous human being. That is impressive that she learned all of this. That's kind of cool. And then I think I caught a live chat, and she turned around and with the deepest, like, baritone voice said something in Japanese, and I realized, oh, that's a femboy. Should have seen it coming, to be honest. Too loud? Okay, you know what? I'm retarded. That is because I had the Braves audio open still, so you were hearing it double. Thanks for letting me know. Eventually I'll get good at streaming. Anyway, I wanted to start us out with a clip that made me laugh. From DSP, actually. If you've been listening to the official podcast in the last year, you might know that I'm a big DSP head now. And by big DSP head, I mean that from time to time I keep up. Like once a month I see a clip that makes me laugh and laugh. And then when there's a new video game like Metroid Dread or a new, I don't know, Life is Strange or something like that, I immediately, well, like whenever a new Mario drops, I immediately rush to DSP Gaming's channel to see like, oh fuck, is Phil flipping out yet? So here he is playing some, I don't know, generic shooter. I don't know what the fuck this is, but pay close attention to his skills here because I found this very amusing. If you don't know DSP, he likes to suck at video games and then claim the game cheated. I fucking love this man. Oh yeah. He's aiming, he's missing. Right, left, right.
Unreal. Unfucking real. All those bullets magically miss from point blank range.
Here's the bullets magically missing.
Unreal. Unfucking real. All those bullets magically miss from point blank range.
I fucking love it. That face. Yeah, you mean his concentration face? Look at it. Oh, he's concentrating hard. I genuinely think if you had like two rat or like a rat in between two feeding things and like two buttons in between, one to go right, one to aim left or whatever, and you had like, you were trying to make the rat run back and forth by dispensing teeny tiny droplets of cocaine or something, you know, to make the rats run back and forth to make it aim the controller. It would do a better job than DSP
Unreal.
here.
Unfucking real.
Unreal. I fucking love him. There are people, believe it or not, who genuinely hate DSP, and I will never understand. Whenever I read forums or like Twitter threads or Reddit posts about this guy, there are people who genuinely hate on him because of the begging, which like I kinda get, but it's also, that's what streamers are. Like, you know, that's like everybody begs. They all beg. At least DSP is fucking unintentionally funny, which is my favorite. That is my favorite, when somebody's unintentionally funny. So, who was it in chat that asked about Greenland? You don't know this? DSP is one of the greatest lolcows of our generation. Boogie cannot dethrone this man. Yeah, I mean, Boogie has his moments, but it's just not good enough. I mean, and also Boogie feels very, very fake. Whereas DSP, actually, I think there's a clip of DSP saying he's better than Boogie. No. Is this it?
This is the difference between myself and the other people who people consider lolcows. Here's the difference. Boogie and Wings, they shop at Walmart, right? Anything to get ahead, anything to make a buck, anything to fucking get them to a position where they're doing something because they need that, right? I don't need that. I'm successful. I have a business. I'm good.
Phil is just one of the very few human beings in the world I actively dislike. I think.
No, this is not the clip I'm thinking of. There is a clip that I thought was very, very amusing, in which DSP talks about how much he's better and not a lolcow like Boogie and Phil. I think the context was somebody in chat told him, hey, Phil, like, you're not doing too hot. Nobody's subscribing. Nobody's donating any fucking super tips or whatever. Why don't you go on lolcow Live? Why don't you join them as a fourth host or something? And he said something to the effect of, look, guys, I mean, if Boogie and Darkside Phil, if they want to, if Wings of Redemption and Boogie, they want to gargle Keemstar's piss out of a jar and they want to drink piss out of a jar, that's their business. But I don't have to do that. I stick to my little corner of the internet. I have my little audience and they give me enough money to get me through the week. And that's enough for me. And I looked at it and I was like, damn, I actually kind of respect that. This man looked at the proposition of getting spat on for money and he said, nah, I'm good. Fuck you guys. I'm better than you. I'm better than Boogie. DSP seems like the kind of guy to stream himself beating it by accident. Funny you would say that. Imagine hating the court jester. There are some people genuinely, like some lolcows that you look at, and they do in fact, you know, involve themselves in shitty acts, but then people get too angry. I've always said this, if you get like genuinely fucking furious at a lolcow, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to be laughing at these people. You know, it's supposed to amuse you. At the end of the day, you're supposed to come away from it with like a smile on your face. Like, if you're at like a dinner with your family and see, you know, the conversation kind of gets too boring or political and you just want to zone out for a second and you check your fucking lolcow thread. And it's something like a meme or a clip like the one of a DSP here missing everything. It's just supposed to make you like chuckle and then you get back to your life, right? You're not supposed to be like, oh, stupid fucking was a piece of shit. Somebody needs to teach Boogie a lesson. Like, dude, come on. It's fine. But yeah, I really, really like DSP. I found him very amusing. All right, let's see. Okay, well, I have some scattershot, jerry-rigged notes about the lady that got shot in Minnesota, but... Wait, was it Minnesota? First I want to do this food pyramid thing, but before I get to the food pyramid, I'm going to have to talk about RFK derangement syndrome, which I found very, very amusing. So, in case you guys don't know, RFK is now the health secretary. And he has always this goofy fucking expression on his face. And the only thing I ever first heard about this guy was from Jackson on the podcast, who said that this guy has brain worms. And I never knew anything about him. Just that one of his relatives got shot, you know? But he kind of looks like this chunky meatball kind of guy. I was just yelling into the mic. And then you listen to his voice, and it's a very fucked up voice, which you're going to hear in clips going forward. Okay, I have 4 Wait. 3 pieces of drama leading up to the food pyramid that I need to give you guys as context that I think are kind of important. The RFK bear story is still a classic. Yeah, a little. I think so too, because the bear story is like he ran over a bear and then he scooped it up and he basically like ate it, which I guess, I mean, you know, why not? Anyway, here's a clip of him. I don't know when this is from. A while ago. Last year. Like, yeah, a year and like 8 months-ish ago. Saying, hey, stop putting fluoride in the water.
Fluoride should not be in our water. Fluoride had a strong...
In case you've never heard him talk, in case this is one of those people you always see on the news and you've never heard him speak, this is his actual voice, permanently. He has like some fucking condition, apparently, that fucked his vocal cords up permanently for life. So he doesn't have the flu here.
Fluoride should not be in our water. Fluoride had a strong justification in the 1940s when it was added and people didn't understand the science and they thought its benefit to our teeth was systemic. By drinking it, it would enter your body and somehow protect your teeth. Now we know that there is no systemic advantage, zero systemic advantage, and that the only advantage comes from topical application. So it's the water that passes through your mouth. You can achieve that benefit from brushing your teeth. And in the era of fluoridated toothpastes and mouthwashes.
Okay, so it essentially enters the scene. And right after Trump gets elected, he appoints this guy as the health secretary. And right out the gate, you know, RFK is out there saying, dude, we need to take the fluoride out of the water. The fluoride is like turning the children retarded. And it's like, it's not really good for your teeth if you ingest it. And everybody is like, oh, this sounds like Alex Jones. This guy's a fucking conspiracy theorist. That's all the worms in his brain. So this was, as far as I know, like his initial drama, right? He comes onto the scene and immediately the fluoride talk, which is like, in case you're too young, the fluoride conspiracy theory drama, like you're a maniac if you believe in it, that's been around for like probably over 50 years now. Like I remember watching literally early, like before season 3 South Park. This would be a joke. Anyway, so this happens. And then people start looking into it, and turns out actually it's not that fucking insane because more and more research shows that fluoride can have downsides. For instance, according to CBS News, federal court rules against EPA in lawsuit over fluoride in water because one of the judges took a look. The ruling by District Court Judge Edward Chen, an appointee of former President Barack Obama, you know that nut job, deals a blow to public health groups in the growing debate about whether the benefits of continuing to add fluoride to the water supply outweighs its risks. Well, it turns out there is actually some contentious research out there that may show that drinking fluoride when you're pregnant may have adverse effects on the baby, and that what he said here, that you need to simply use fluoride toothpaste, is the right solution because all of the fluoride's benefits are oral, right? So I was expecting a crazy conspiracy theory because that's what Jackson hammed it up on the show as, like, oh, you gotta hear this guy with worms in his brain. But he's right, though. Fluoride is mostly an oral benefit, a supplement, a thing you can take orally, brush your teeth, gargle with some mouthwash that has fluoride in it, and you don't really need to have it in the tap water. You don't have to have it in your bloodstream. You don't need to swallow it. Was an RFK talking about vaccine giving us autism? We'll get to that too. That's one of the bigger dramas. Anyway, I never understood the putting things into the water debate because let me tell you a story. So when I was, let me put this down a little. Story time. Okay, now I am what many people would probably call a conspiracy theorist in the sense that I have lived on 3 different continents now, right? And I have seen various different governments, and I do not trust a single one of them. So I grew up like halfway between, half and half in Turkey and Germany. I remember one time I was in Turkey, and in Turkey, water is always like, you're not supposed to drink the tap water, right? And intermittently, there will be drama with the local governments because people will turn on the tap, and like brown water will come out, and it's not shit. It's not like sewage, but it's like rust and just dirt. Basically, like random rust and grime that gets into the pipes. And every once in a while, the local population will pipe up and be like, hey man, this is fucked up. Like, what are you guys doing with our water supply? I remember there was one press conference where the local mayor or something the local politician gave a press conference on TV, and he was like, the water is completely fine to drink. Watch me as I drink this tap water. But what he didn't realize is that right behind him, the cameras could still they were within frame. The cameras captured his aides pouring that water out of a plastic water bottle. So he was just drinking like filtered plastic water bottle water from a cup, telling everybody, see, I'm doing it. Our tap water is completely fine. So I grew up with that. And now I'm in America. And I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, train derailed in America. And it was, I think, technically the worst environmental chemical spill disaster in American history in a small town. I forgot where it was. But the fucking train toppled and spilled a bunch of chemicals into some small rural town, right? Was it Ohio? Firemaster says Ohio. I don't remember. But the thing fucking crashed and all the chemicals spill out. And the local lakes, I remember the reporters going to the local lakes, and they would look at the lake like, you know, they would bring the camera down low to look at it from an angle, and you could see the water shimmer. It looked like an oil spill. The water shimmered like that movie Annihilation. Remember that movie where it was like a kaleidoscope? And then I remember the EPA or whatever fucking government agencies in charge of it. I remember the American government saying, it's fine, drink it. No, what? Chemicals in the water? Pfft, that's a conspiracy theory. God, what? You guys watch way too much InfoWars. Where'd you get this from, Nick Fuentes? Where'd you get this from, Tim Pool? You guys need to stop watching Ben Shapiro, okay? You guys are, like, insane. No, too much Alex Jones. No, there is no chemicals in the water. So that's how I see things. If somebody tells me the water is safe to drink, I go, I don't know about that. So eventually, for my house, I got myself a countertop water filter, which you can get too. It is a countertop water distiller. I got one of these things. Like one of these. Basically, you fill it with like a gallon of water, and it boils the water. The water evaporates, and then at the top, it's a series of tubes where the condensation, it basically condensates back. And then here at the tip, where the faucet is, there's a charcoal filter, which filters out all the rest of the crap, all the remaining crap. And then you get clean water. And you can get the Brita filters are good too. But this is like, you're basically literally distilling the water out of any muck that it contains. Like, it's really exactly like you distill alcohol. You boil the water out, and just the water, leaving all the whatever grime, dirt, chemicals may be in it, and you get pristine water. And you can get one of those like water measuring sticks. Like one of these things, which will tell you how many like parts per million of dirt and grime and just chemicals are in your water. And if your local water is like hard water and it says 120, after you distilled water, it's supposed to say like 0 or 1. Is the tap water not safe to drink? I just don't trust it, man. That's the thing. Like, I'm too paranoid. And the thing is, there is no downside to what I'm doing here. But the reason I'm telling the story is, one time my wife had her friends over, and this is like 2 years ago, and I got a little butthurt. I'll be honest. I love them now. They're my friends too now, but I got a little butthurt initially because they came over, they saw the thing on our countertop, the distiller, and they're like, what is this? What is this? And my wife explained it to them, and they started doing Alex Jones impressions, right? Like, oh, you know, they're putting the chemicals in the water that's turning the frogs gay, and blah, 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 blah. Like, making low-key kind of making fun of it. They weren't really. They're nice people, but they just turned it into a joke, and I was, like, sitting there to the side, like, no, you guys are making fun of it, but, like, it is true, though. Like, there is garbage in the water system. Right? Like, do you trust your government? Are you that much of a stooge? You know, there are estrogenic chemicals in the water supply, I'm afraid to say. Like, where do you think all of the birth control goes that women piss out? All of that goes into the water system. The government can't filter all of it out once it reaches the point of your tap, right? So for my peace of mind, I just filter all of it out. I distill it, I run it through a charcoal filter, I measure it. Okay, this is completely clean water, and then I can add whatever else I want. If I want it mineralized, I can add my own minerals. I can put electrolytes in it, dash of lemon, whatever I want. I just feel better about it. So that's how I feel about tap water. I don't think it makes sense to put fluoride in it, even if it does have benefits for your teeth, because, okay, well, we have to put fluoride in the water because it keeps your teeth healthy. It's like, okay, well, brush, right? Like, use mouthwash. We live in a first world country. These aren't mysterious substances that you, like, only the government has access to fluoride. It's like a tub of toothpaste at Walmart is like $2. Get one of those. And by the same logic, like, if the logic is we have to put fluoride in the water supply because it's good for the teeth, okay, then why don't we just, like, dump everything in the tap then, in the tap water? Why don't we put multivitamins in it? Why not whey protein? Why not creatine, right? Why not beef liver powder, like, just to give people more vitamins? Why not vitamin C and D? Like, I would prefer to live in a society where when I turn on the water tap, water comes out and nothing else. I don't want anybody else. I don't want some bureaucrat making the decision for me that, we need to put this chemical in there just for safety reasons. Because, like, I don't know. You're going to fuck that up. You're a fucking bureaucrat. You're going to put in the 10 times the safe dose, which, by the way, that's what this judge ruled here in California. They measured it and they were like, well, I mean, like, fluoride may or may not be safe, but you guys are putting way too much in, like, above the safety limits. Got my wisdom teeth pulled today and feel like hammer shit. Oof. I have to get mine pulled too. The dentist keeps telling me and nagging me to do it. I'm terrified of it because they put you under fully. Like, it's not just a local anesthetic where you can at least still be awake. When my wife got it done, they had to put her under entirely, like, full body anesthesia. And they got it done in like 15 minutes too, which is incredible. Like, genuinely, they can put you to sleep for 15 minutes and then just wake you up, which is insane to me. But it just scares me. I don't know. Just being put under like that, it just feels like I'm being put down, like euthanized. My last thought when they're doing that is going to be like, I'm never going to wake up. I'm never going to wake up. There's going to be some nurse going like, all right, sweetie, count down. All right, now count down from 10 for me, sweetheart. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to die. 9. I'm going to die. 8. This is the last things I'm saying. 7. I love you, wife. 6. And I'm just going to piss myself while I'm under. In fear. I've been under like 3 times. It's like fast travel when you wake up. I don't know. It just scares me. I don't remember if I've ever been under or if I've ever had a surgery. Maybe when I was a kid, but I don't remember. Just the concept is scary. Majority of people don't regularly drink tap water anyway. What the fuck real benefit for your teeth would fluoride in the water even have? Yeah, I mean, they always give Europe as an example because in Germany, people do regularly drink just tap water. And in Germany, I don't know if I was quite this woke about, like, water pollution when I still lived in Germany. I just used tap water too. And that's fine. I mean, that may work for them, I suppose. But it just, now that I know what I know, and now that I've seen that chemical spill in America, now that I've seen, like, politicians in 3 different continents just, like, hand wave away any concern as, like, conspiracy theorist. Oh, you rube, how dare you question the local government, you rube, you uneducated fucking conspiratard. No, I don't believe you. I've clubbed feet and had multiple surgeries and been under a lot. It is just fast travel. You don't feel a thing till the meds wear off. Okay, but that doesn't help me beforehand. That's like saying, well, dude, planes are really fast. I know, but the takeoff is still gonna scare me no matter what. Alright. I've been under a single time to get my broken nose fixed. Literally feels like nothing happened. 1 second they are giving you anesthesia, next second you are awake again. Ooh. That's almost even scarier. I wish I could just... They had a bed at the dentist and you could just lie down and naturally fall asleep and then somebody anesthetizes you. That would be ideal. Like, do it while I'm not looking kind of thing. They don't have you count back. They usually just continue to talk to you and distract you. When will I be the next guest on the podcast? I don't know. Maybe for episode 500. We can have guests again. I kind of intermittently want to have guests on just for like people's funny stories and whatnot. I thought recently it could be fun to have patrons come on to talk about their favorite, not their favorite, but maybe their funniest dating story. It could have been fun. Okay, drama number 2. Mr. Kennedy went on wrong browser again. Mr. Kennedy went on television to say something that this article will hopefully say. Come on. Oh my god. Okay. I guess USA Today doesn't want me. RFK Jr. bans 8 artificial food dyes from nation's foods. Okay, so this was his second drama, by the way. After the fluoride shit kind of died down, still ongoing. Multiple states are like, should we ban it? Should we not ban it? Should we take it out of the supply? Is it fine? I don't know. Is it fine? Nobody knows. But food dyes is like almost universally reviled, right? And you almost universally, all of us here listening probably know, yeah, when you go to Walmart, it looks fucking vile. That's like disgusting looking. Everything is just so colored. Everything is red number 3, blue number 50, red number 40, yellow number 5. It's just like gross. This shouldn't be in our food. So that's what RFK basically said. And he got fact checked by the New York Times, which hopefully will load. Oh, there you go. It actually did load. Are you going to paywall me? Fuck you. Okay, we're going to screenshot this bitch. Anyway, they did a whole how dare he yap. And then they fact-checked this claim. This is from the New York Times. Mr. Kennedy has singled out Fruit Loops as an example of a product with too many artificial ingredients, questioning why the Canadian version has fewer than the US version. But he was wrong. The ingredient list is roughly the same, although Canada's has natural colorings made from blueberries and carrots, while the US product contains red dye 40, yellow 5, and blue 1, as well as butylated hydroxytoluene, or BHT, a lab-made chemical that is used for freshness according to the ingredient label. And I remember at the time the New York Times got fucking ferocious for this fact check where they go, oh, he's wrong. The ingredients are exactly the same, except Canadians dye their foods with vegetables and we dye our foods with cancer. Cancer juice. It doesn't say anything about the dyes. Well, the dyes are unnecessary is what it says. Like, why use red dye number 40 when you can use whatever, carrots or strawberries or some shit. And the dyes do get shit because occasionally, after 50 years of feeding this to children, we find out, oh, red dye number 3 was actually causing cancer in people, so the FDA had to ban it. So red dye number 3 has been banned after 50 years in circulation. Like I said, an entire generation being fed this shit. The synthetic food dye must be removed from all foods by 2027. But if you believe the New York Times, of course, same thing as carrots. You're a conspiratard if you believe that this is bad. It's bad to feed your children dye. FTC is banning petrol-based food dyes completely within the next couple of years. Good. Based. I saw that. Was it Doritos? I think they're introducing something like Just Taste. I think it was either Doritos or Cheetos. Yeah, look. They're calling it Simply Naked, and apparently it's supposed to be a version of Doritos that doesn't have, like, any artificial, like, flavors or dyes. I've not actually seen this on any shelves, but I am kind of curious to see this, though. Coolmont Millard. Yes, thank you for modding. He reached out after the last stream. I begged anybody to help me with moderating these fucking streams. Kick is the worst. Honestly, Twitch and YouTube have, like, fairly aggressive enough filters that... Like, I mean, obviously, Kick and Twitch are not gonna YouTube and Twitch are not gonna allow any slurs or whatever spam to get through anyway during a live stream, but Kick is awful. Every stream, I have like 4 viewers max on Kick, and somehow I have 16 spammers. I don't even know how it works. They taste the exact same, but don't have any of the dyes. Perfect. I mean, even if it does taste it's slightly different, it's fucking Doritos. Like, after a while, you're gonna get over it. It's like the move from Coke to Coke Zero. Now many people prefer the taste of Coke Zero, myself included. Okay. Now here's a big one. Tylenol. I don't know if you guys remember this one. This was like fairly recent. This happened like maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I want to say. Ooh. Hello, Jacob. He subscribed. I have a subscriber. Okay, I have to mute the cute little femboy here so we can listen to RFK's angelic voice about what his issue is with Tylenol. In case you're not familiar with Tylenol because you're in Europe, Tylenol is acetaminophen, which in Europe is sold under the brand paracetamol. So it's basically just like fever medication.
Tylenol, we've all said from the beginning that the causative association between Tylenol given in pregnancy and the perinatal periods is not sufficient to say it definitely caused autism, but it is very suggestive. And it's suggestive in animal studies and core blood studies and observational studies from nation to nation. And so there should be a cautious approach to it. And that's why our message to patients, to mothers, to people who are pregnant, to the mothers of young children is consult your physician. And we have asked physicians to...
Okay, anyway, he makes a very, I think, a reasonable point there. Look, we're not saying it definitely causes autism, but there is a lot of relationship, it seems like, between Tylenol use during pregnancy and autism. Like, hey, slow down maybe, talk this through with your physician. Don't just chug Tylenol. Guess what people did? They started chugging Tylenol to own the chuds, to own us, to own the fucking right-wing Nazi giga-Hitlers. Okay, so if you're not looking at the screen, it's a pregnant lady on TikTok. This caused an entire TikTok trend, by the way, of pregnant women chugging Tylenol. My sister said the only reason they're going after Tylenol is because it's the only painkiller pregnant women can take, and this is purely to blame autism on women and oppress them. I had an 8-hour drive with her, so I didn't argue. I'm the same with my sister, my friend. I get you, Andrew. I get that. Sometimes people in your family say the dumbest fucking shit. They say something so fucking stupid that you realize that if you engage at all, like wrestling a pig in mud, like they're gonna enjoy it, but you're not. Like, you can't. I can't let myself get dragged into this, goddammit, because if I do, I'm going to have to go scorched earth, and it's going to ruin our relationship because they are so invested in this retarded lie. So that was one lady. Here's another.
28 weeks pregnant. You know what I'm going to take?
Tylenol.
Some Tylenol, acetaminophen. It's going to work like a charm, and my baby won't have autism.
You showed them, damn it. Perfect, all right. Last example. Here's another lady in her bathroom. And the caption reads, here's me, a pregnant woman taking Tylenol because I believe in science and not someone who has no medical background. Okay, I'm gonna mute that because I don't want to get copyright struck again. She chucks the Tylenol down with some fucking coffee or whatever the hell that is. So a bunch of pregnant ladies are officially on TikTok chugging Tylenol to own RFK. Okay? Except something awkward happened. Something really, really awkward happened. So science denier RFK Jr. goes on television and says, hey, pregnant people shouldn't take Tylenol. Everybody loses their minds because he's a conspiracy theorist, science-denying, Bible-thumping retard, right? With brain worms. But then people found Tylenol's old tweets, the company, Tylenol, saying in 2017, we actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today. And then they found another one. If you are pregnant/nursing, seek the advice of your healthcare professional before using Tylenol or any other medication. By the way, when a company says this, it's basically just abdicate responsibility. This is so that if you do take Tylenol and you croak or your baby ends up retarded or something and you try to sue Tylenol for it, they want to be able to say, hey, we said ask your doctor first, right? We put the warning label on the bottle to ask your doctor first. You didn't ask your doctor, so it's really on you. You can't sue us. Another one. Congrats on your upcoming edition. So exciting. They're replying to a pregnant lady who's... The post is deleted, but a pregnant lady was talking about Tylenol, I guess. It'd be great to touch base real quick since we haven't tested Tylenol to be used during pregnancy. Perfect. Beautiful. And to top it off, right around the time that this drama was happening, in August, a little known, an anti-scientific conspiracy theorist rag, an outlet, a rag, called Harvard, the Harvard School of Public Health. You may have heard of it. On Alex Jones's show. You know, these fucking retards, right? They said using acetaminophen, that is Tylenol, using Tylenol during pregnancy may increase children's autism and ADHD risk. They did a whole study, which you can read, by the way. And turns out, yeah, maybe you shouldn't take Tylenol. The company says don't take Tylenol when you're pregnant unless you absolutely have to. Harvard says you shouldn't take it. But no, it's all a fucking conspiracy theory, of course. We can't even ask the question, which is what's bothering me. Like, Tylenol, by the way, if you go to the doctor these days, at any point... Turn down this music a little for me. If you go to the doctor nowadays with your pregnant wife still, with a pregnant woman, they will still recommend Tylenol. To this day, as like one of the safe medications that you can totally just take if you have a headache or whatever. They never said you shouldn't take it, though. They say, so if you go, like I said, if your house doctor, your general practitioner, family doctor will generally tell you if you have a high fever. If you have a high fever, you can take Tylenol, but not like longer than a week. If it's lasting longer than a week, your fever, go to the doctor. Don't just keep self-medicating with Tylenol or paracetamol or whatever else it's called around the world. Which a lot of women do, by the way, unfortunately. Like, I know so many older boomer generation and granny ladies who just take, like, anti-inflammatory drugs every single day because they think it helps my knees, it helps my arthritis, and they don't realize over time you build up a tolerance to it and you need more and more of it to just even put a slightest damper on your pains. And some women, unfortunately, do it even throughout the whole pregnancy when they get pregnant. And that is the bad thing. So, for sure that's the responsible thing to do, but may increase risk is far removed from do not take it under any circumstances. I agree. But I don't think anybody should be attacked for saying, hey, maybe don't. Maybe be a little cautious with this thing. So now we arrive at today. Was this today? Maybe yesterday. The spoiler alert. So, RFK and his department announced a new food pyramid. In case you don't know, the food pyramid is something all of us all around the world grew up with, which is this food pyramid of supposedly the best foods that you're supposed to eat and like the ratio of it. And it looks like this. At the very bottom, you have your grains. You have like bread, and that is the best stuff you can eat, the most you can eat rather. Then you have vegetables and fruits. Then you have meat, poultry, sausage, cheese and eggs and stuff. And then at the very tippy top, at the smallest field, is junk food, sweet sugar drinks. Meaning, you know, this should be your foundation, the bread and the grains. And then at the tippy top, the tiny, you know, you get to have a little bit of ice cream at the top in your diet. That's how you're supposed to eat. Well, I think this food pyramid is from like the 1980s or something. So literally 46 years ago that they came up with this. And now we know it's basically all fucking bullshit, and we finally have an updated thing. Where's the alcohol? Actually, we did get recommendation about that too. Hold on. Jesus, I'm zoomed in. What am I, blind? Dr. Oz alcohol. Okay, we can get to that. Remind me. Because we actually do have government recommendations about alcohol now. So let's get to through the pyramid first. So it says real food starts here. You know what? I didn't even realize this was a video.
America is facing a full-scale health emergency. More than 70% of adults are overweight or obese. More than half are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Chronic disease touches nearly every single American family. This did not happen by accident. It happened because real food was pushed aside, replaced by highly processed products. Junk food became the foundation of the modern American diet, and we're paying the price with our health. But that ends today. We are resetting how our nation eats. Real food is back at the center of the American diet.
Fuck yeah.
Real food that nourishes the body, that restores health, that brings back energy, and that builds strength. This is what it takes to make America healthy again.
I don't know why this is giving me like Helldivers vibes, right? Am I wrong? Like the beginning intro cinematic in Helldivers 2. Super
Trump, we
Earth.
are reclaiming the food pyramid and fixing a system that has been broken.
Okay, anyway, it's yapping, but you guys get the points, okay? It does make salient points. Yeah, Americans are sicker than ever. How did we end up here? We do need a better food pyramid. So it says America's sick, the data is clear. 50%, 75%, 90... Wait, what? Oh, I wasn't looking. 50% of Americans have prediabetes or diabetes. 75% of adults report having at least one chronic condition. 90% of US healthcare spending goes to treating chronic disease, much of which is linked to diet and lifestyle. Let me take a swig of my cancer juice. Democratic freedom food. By the way, this website is an official government website. It's called realfood.gov. And it is genuinely fucking fancy. Oh, there it is, the old one. For decades, we've been misled by guidance that prioritized highly processed food and now facing rates of unprecedented chronic disease. And it's the old food pyramid. Old food pyramid, excuse me. Which put fats, oils, and sweets at the very top as like the worst. And then again, like pasta and mac and cheese and crackers and shit at the very bottom as the foundation of all the food you should eat. And then meat and eggs and milk and cheese is at the very... It's like second level. It's not the worst, but it's like they're basically implying, hey, you should try to have like not a lot of steak and stuff. You know, it's bad for you. We can solve this crisis. For the first time, we're calling out the dangers of highly processed foods. Blah, blah, blah. Introducing the new pyramid. It's like a product launch on Apple. Let's see what Apple's food pyramid has. Okay, hold on. Let's look zoomed out here. They inverted the pyramid, you guys. So now at the very bottom, you have the least desirable foods, which is grains, which is bread. And then at the mid tier, you have like bananas, you have veggies, you have nuts, you have butter, you have grapes, oranges, shrimp, I guess, tuna, and is there a zoomed in version of this? Salmon. And then at the very top, you have healthy meats. You have like, they're not joking. This is actually correct. Inverted growth making. And at the very top, you have chicken and meats. You have chicken, cheese, eggs. I already mentioned eggs, broccoli, peas, carrots, apples. So protein, dairy, healthy fats. This is fucking perfect. And genuinely, there's actually, I looked at this. I've been like caring about my nutrition more and more over the past few years, and everything basically in this pyramid, in the prior pyramid. Did I close it? Let me see. Let me pull up this photo just for reference. Can I find the version that they used? Is this it? This is it. Oof, there's a huge scan. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Again, so one of the top things you should consume is food and protein, they say. And I love how on the bottle, on the milk bottle, it says whole milk. And on the yogurt bottle, this is one of my gripes with Americans, is whenever I tell them about how delicious yogurt is and everything. Like, I put yogurt on my pasta, you can put it on your chicken. You can make a yogurt drink where you mix half parts yogurt, half parts water. You stir it, you add salt and a little bit of garlic powder to taste. And you can even blend like ice and a cucumber into it. And Americans look at me like I'm just fucking vile. And they ask me like, what kind of yogurt do you do that with? With like chocolate or vanilla? And at that point, it's when I realize, oh, they think I'm talking about like American yogurt. And I have to explain to them like, no, like Greek yogurt, plain yogurt. And I'm very grateful that they actually printed on the yogurt cup here unsweetened yogurt. Like they had to give the hints that, hey, by the way, this isn't vanilla yogurt. And then on the milk bottle it says whole milk, because so many people, they genuinely still, our boomer parents, it's not even their fault. They grew up with the mentality that fat is evil. You have to buy skim milk. You have to buy 2% skim milk, and then you drink the fucking milk and it barely tastes like milk. It's basically like white water. It doesn't even taste like milk if you compare it to actual like whole milk or whole yogurt. People are so used to buying the diet version of everything where they just diet margarine, diet yogurt, diet skim milk, and it's just, you're barely getting anything out of this with everything removed artificially. Butter, saturated fat, which is good for you. What is wrong with yogurt on chicken? Nothing. It is delicious as long as you use Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is genuinely, it's basically like putting cream cheese on things. Just slightly different taste. Olive oil, chicken, steak, red meats, ground beef. You have some salmon here. I love salmon. Just sounds like they wouldn't mix well. Try it, my friend. Maybe I need to do recipe time someday. People tell me that all the time. They think like, tzatziki sauce. See, he gets it. It's kind of similar. Like, in Turkey, we also have cacık, which is basically you mince garlic, and you can add a dash of olive oil, and you put, if you want, a few different seasonings, and you mince a few cucumbers into it. You salt it to taste, and it makes for a great dip. Every American that I've ever shown this sort of stuff to, they think, oh, this is actually really refreshing and nice and yummy. Huh, I never thought that yogurt would be this delicious. Anyway, so they recommend eat the protein, eat the dairy, and then on the other side of the pyramids, the other things, the top two things that you should consume most of is, vegetables and fruits. So broccoli, carrots, leafy greens, blueberries. I love blueberries, frozen peas, bananas, and that sort of stuff. And then the least thing that you should consume is whole grains, which is fucking true. It is actually, where's the red 40? It is actually insane to me that for 40 years we've lived with this food pyramids where they told us that like mac and cheese or whatever is the foundation of a good diet, right? Crackers. This is like bleeding someone with leeches or lobotomizing your hysterical woman, tears of anti-scientific at this point. We know this now. The idea that fats, like saturated fats, are bad for you, or that olive oil is bad for you. Or that this was a con by the sugar industry too, by the way. The sugar industry basically like tried to drag tallow and beef fats down into the gutter in order to blame fats for Americans being fat. Like, hey, you're fat, must be the fault of fats, right? But no, it's fucking artificial sweeteners and sugars and shit. And carbs don't help because bread is like empty carbs basically. Like bread is what humanity invented so us peasant class don't starve to death. It's like, you guys know how the Haitians eat mud cookies? Like, Haiti is so fucking poor that they literally make cookies out of dirt. Out of literal dirt on the ground, and that's what they feed their children. Just so the children have something to chew on. And that's basically what bread is. Like, bread isn't any better. Pasta isn't any better. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love carbs. I love pasta. Okay? I love pasta. I love yogurt pasta too, by the way. Another thing that mixes really well with Greek yogurt is pasta. With some red pepper flakes and salt and some garlic powder and stuff. But every time I eat pasta, I also kind of like, I feel guilty because it's like, this has no nutrition at all. For whatever, they can infuse the pasta with vitamins and whatnot, but that's all, like in and of itself, it has nothing in it. Like bread has no nutritional value, even whole bread, even like real sourdough bread and whatnot. It's like you're better off just eating eggs or cheese and stuff, dairy. So I'm glad. So if you pay attention here, oh, it's too small for you guys to see, but on the original pyramid, it says that grains, the bread, you should consume up to 11 servings per... I don't actually know. What is this supposed to be? Per day, I guess. Yeah, 11 servings per day, which is insane. The new pyramid says, 2 servings per day is fine of grain, of just empty carbs. I don't know if that's supposed to be white rice down there, if that's what you're saying. I think white rice is up there somewhere. Hold on. Yeah, look. Rice is up there with the protein, dairy, and healthy fats section. They actually have red beans and rice. I wish I could zoom in, but if you enhance, there is red beans and rice, which is... They had one motherfucker from Louisiana on this team, I'm telling you, because I'm a big red beans and rice slut, because my wife is from Louisiana, and I eat it a lot, like a lot of variations of it. My wife makes it, my mother-in-law makes it. I love it. I love red beans and rice. My friends make it. So that is right up there. I don't think they're discriminating against rice, I'm telling you. Somebody snuck that in there. Black bean and rice is infinitely better? I don't think I've tried that. Well, most beans taste kind of the same to me, to be fair. No, legumes are essential. Legumes, I wouldn't put legumes at all in the same category, or legumes and nuts, in the same category as grains. Just fucking bread, wheat, shit we feed the cows. Anyway, so they do that. And then I guess they have a little FAQ here. What does eating real food mean? Oh, and you'll notice that unlike the old pyramid, which has like sweets and like ice cream and candy in the pyramid and whatnot, this one doesn't. Like the hint here is, look, sugar isn't even on here at all. Like whole grains, but like processed grains isn't even on here at all. I don't know if you noticed, there's no sausages in this. There's nothing processed here, which is, again, good. This is something Americans need to learn, because especially our older generations who've been taught, hey, man, everything is the fat's fault, man. You need to buy like 0% skim milk that's basically just, we took a bottle of water and we scraped some chalk into it to make it look slightly milky, and that's healthy for you. Just eat this industrial byproduct. How does the new pyramid... oh my god. No, it's worse. Hold on. I love these fancy sites, but also it makes scrolling such a pain in the ass. Added sugars are not part of eating real foods and are not recommended. The new pyramid encourages avoiding added sugars entirely, especially for children, while allowing naturally occurring sugars found in whole fruits and plain dairy. Fair. Where do grains fit in the new pyramid? Grains can be part of a real food diet when eaten in whole or traditionally prepared forms. Foods like oats, rice, and true sourdough are preferred. Refined and packaged grain products should be limited. There you go. I think that is extremely fair. It is finally happening. For many, many years now, everybody's still been living off of like 1980s, 1990s popular science, going, well, fats are bad for you. All the fats, all the trans fats, it's all bad for you. Every oil is bad for you. And you have to tell like boomers genuinely, like not all fats are the same. Like canola oil is not the same thing as avocado oil. One of these makes you more sick than the other. Like true grass-fed whole butter is not the same as like skim margarine. One of these makes you sicker than the other. One will cause infinitely more inflammation in your body. One will give you, like, one will actively hurt your arthritis more than the other. Okay? Like fish oil is not the same thing as fucking rapeseed oil. Oh, you're right. They should have put a dark chocolate on there. I love dark chocolate too. Unfortunately, my wife hates it. She's not a fan. Anyway, this made me think. So, I think the most controversial part of this... Oh, hold on. Actually, let's get to some of the knee-jerk reactions first. So, they announced this on Twitter and everywhere, of course. And some people on Twitter, of course, have a whole conniption fit about this. Had me all the way until full-fat dairy. The fat in dairy products are primarily saturated fats, the kind that clog your arteries, and is not at all healthy. So you immediately know, this person is over 40, guaranteed. because this is how we grew up. We were told growing up, eggs have cholesterol. If you're eating eggs, you might as well be like microdosing cyanide. Cholesterol will clog your arteries. Everything will clog your arteries. And then somebody else responds, you might not be surprised to hear that a number of the scientists, quote unquote, contributed to this have direct ties to the meat and dairy industry. LOL. This is in the conflicting interest section of their report. They even say they can't confidently call saturated fat bad. It's bullshit. Okay, now take a mental note of that. This guy hates saturated fats. No, this is new. This was announced yesterday. Somebody else was reviewing the pyramid, and this guy's very angry. Bad. The bad... What is this? I recognize this song. Don't tell me. Freerin. Okay, God, that was gonna kill me if I didn't guess it. Anyway, this guy is mad because push more red meat linked to diabetes, wrong. Heart disease, wrong. Cancer, wrong. Demonize healthy seed oils like canola. Let's look at the healthy canola oil. Let's see how it's made, by the way. How did I find out that's a femboy? Because he turned to the camera and spoke, my friend. I was pretty shocked. Sorry, Freerin.
Canola oil is a commonly type of cooking oil. It's derived from the seed of the canola plant, which North American farmers have been growing for about 30 years. The plant blooms in the summer, producing bright yellow flowers. Farmers harvest the seeds from pods, which form after those flowers die off. Canola oil is one of the healthiest cooking oils, compared
Bazinga. There you go. 13 years ago. This is what we've been hearing growing up. All of this misinformation. One of the healthiest oils.
to olive, sunflower, and
This
soybean
PUFA,
oils.
this
It has
polyunsaturated fatty acid.
7%. It also contains more healthy omega-3 fatty acids and is high in monounsaturated fat, which lowers cholesterol.
Cholesterol was the other huge, like, buzzword. Again, cholesterol, especially from eggs, will clog your arteries, will give you heart attacks. Canola oil, drink canola oil. And then, I don't want to watch this whole 5-minute thing. I genuinely... I didn't know this was 5 minutes. I thought the original was like 1.5 minutes. But the way they make canola oil is they basically process the shit out of it and then they bleach it. They actually bleach it to make it look prettier to the consumer. And then they deodorize it because it stinks. It reeks of just disgusting grime. So they have to deodorize it with chemicals. And then you can drink it. And it causes insane levels of inflammation in your body, unlike what they're saying here. So this guy, of course, loves seed oils like canola. Protein recommendations too high. I love this one too. So protein bad. We finally reached the stage where now they're recommending against getting protein in your diet. So stop drinking milk. Stop taking the strong, like, nutritious stuff. You guys, eat more canola. And this all reminded me of a certain thing. Now, who here... Okay, if you're not American, you might not get this reference because I didn't really know about this either. But apparently Americans, children, when you guys were children, you were all forced to watch a movie called Super Size Me. In case you don't know this movie, they showed this in American schools, apparently, in order to basically teach children that McDonald's is super duper bad for you because it is fast food, and this guy made it his mission to only eat McDonald's for 30 days or something like that. And throughout the whole thing, he keeps going to the doctor to get his vitals checked. Like, after every single week of just eating nothing but McDonald's, he goes to the doctor, and the doctor is like, dude, you're actively dying. Oh my God, McDonald's is so bad for you. And the teachers would just put this on in the class. Anyway, documentary comes out, an entire generation learns that McDonald's is bad for you, which is like fair, you know. But then, shortly after, the guy croaks. He croaks, and people found out, oh, actually this guy was a hardcore alcoholic. It had nothing to do with McDonald's. The entire time that this guy was filming this documentary where he eats nothing but McDonald's, he was apparently chugging bottles of vodka every single day. He was like drinking a fifth of vodka every single day. And that is why his liver was collapsing. And every single time he went to the doctor, and the doctor is like, your vitals show that your liver is actively shutting down, dude. Is this really all from McDonald's? And he would go, yes? Question mark? Yeah, total, yeah. This is what Big Macs do to you. As he's like hiding the Red Stag whiskey bottles, right? So this reminded me of a study, and I looked into it, and turns out there's a shit ton of these studies. So, oh my, okay, these are PDF files. How do I pull these up? Okay, study number 1. Beef fat prevents alcoholic liver disease in the rat. And if you read through this, this is from, what was this from? 1989. They found that beef fat, which is saturated fat, by the way, prevents alcoholic liver disease in rats. And then a second study, dietary saturated and monounsaturated fats protect against acute acetaminophen hepatotoxicity, which is like doctor speak for Tylenol-induced like overdose on your liver, because Tylenol is bad for your liver. That's why it's bad for pregnant ladies. Protects against acute Tylenol poisoning by altering fatty acid composition of liver microsomal membrane in rats. Third study, I will summarize these all for you in a second here. Dietary saturated fat reduces alcoholic hepatotoxicity in rats by altering fatty acid metabolism and membrane composition. So what these assholes actually did, I feel so bad for rats, man. So what these assholes did was they took rats, okay? Basically in all 3 studies, they're all very similar. They took rats, poisoned them, either with alcohol or Tylenol. They poisoned they didn't even feed these fucking rats anything except alcohol. Okay, they got them fucking drunk, they got them a fucking Tylenol, and then they tested various different, feeding them various different fats and oils to see what sort of an effect it would have on their bodies. So they fed them, here it says, I don't know if you can read it, if I zoom in, they say, we evaluated the effects of dietary corn oil, olive oil, and beef tallow. And then the other one, I think they use like corn oil, beef tallow. What was the other one? Corn. One of them, I think, used palm oil. And then the other one, like I said, Tylenol. Where can I sign up? I know. Anyway, they found that saturated fats like tallow, beef tallow, which is literally just like rendered beef fat, is protective in the liver because it doesn't cause oxidation in your liver the same way that oils like canola oil cause. Oils like canola oil, on the other hand, do the opposite. They oxidize. Omega-6 fatty acid promotes the growth of an aggressive type of breast cancer. Linoleic acid and omega-6 fatty acid found in seed oils such as soybean and safflower oil and animal products including pork and eggs specifically enhances the growth of the hard-to-treat triple-negative breast cancer subtype, blah, blah, blah. It basically causes inflammation, oxidization in your liver, all sorts of bad effects. And that made me think of this fucker. So, this guy decided to eat nothing but canola fried McDonald's for a whole month while he was chugging fucking alcohol. So he was hitting his liver with a double whammy. And I genuinely think that is why he died. He was just fucking rocking his liver. That's good to know for all the rats and mice in the chat. Look, I mean, you can say the same thing. Okay, well, cyanide kills rats. Okay, well, that's just in rats. I'm going to keep eating cyanide. Look, you can keep eating your seed oils. That's fine. But you will notice that pretty much everybody that like touts the benefits of seed oils and whatnot, all of these people, same with the people that chuck Tylenol. It's like the most chronically inflamed and chronically diseased, unhinged people. And in the meantime, like, this is common sense. Eating a chicken, just a normal chicken with, you know, dip it in some yummy yogurts. You can't argue with it, really. What a way to go, though. Yeah, I mean, McDonald's and liquor, I don't know if that's fun. That has to be painful, because whenever I look at, like, alcohol-related deaths, there's a whole genre of, like, people looking like the Simpsons characters on r/last pictures before death or something like that. Whenever one of them is like, yeah, my brother died of alcohol overdose, and it's like, goddamn, dude, that looks fucking agonizing. To die like that and the last taste you have in your mouth is some fucking paper clippings, chicken McNuggets, that's not a good way to go. At least after you have your steak, right? Oh yeah, and then the red meat and cancer thing. Charlie used to believe this too for the longest time because again, we grew up like this red meat gives you cancer. Stop eating red meat. Eat more bread. Eat your fucking crackers and mac and cheese. Eat your stale bread, peasants. Stop eating red meat. And I actually sat down and I did some research with this and I downloaded like 20 different papers. And I like compared 3 different like premium models of the AI to deep research. I gave this all of this shit and said like, explain this to me. How does this give you cancer? And they all pretty much agreed, like, yeah, it's been linked to cancer. And I said, really? Like, this substance that humanity has been consuming for millennia, you're telling me that if I, like, cut open a cow and, like, take a piece of meat out of its ass, and I sizzle it on a stainless steel skillet over a fire, as people have been doing, like, just eating meat, red meat, for millennia, you're telling me that's gonna kill me? And every single time, the answer is, oh no, actually, all of those studies were done on, like, processed food, on processed red meats. And it's like, yeah, motherfucker, if you eat nothing but, like, Walmart hot dogs, of course you're gonna get cancer. But no, somebody that studies on fucking chicken nuggets and Walmart hot dogs and Walmart salami, so now you can't have a fucking filet mignon. Yummy ass meat. Well, whether you like it or not, if you get a steak, it's gonna come from a yucky part of a cow. The amount of garbage put into processed foods is insane. Always turn it around, man. Like, my wife and I never not turn around foods anymore. Like, you have to sometimes. And it is genuinely, it makes shopping more frustrating because sometimes you really do have to just go to a different store. Like, our local Walmart, it is close. It is extremely convenient. We go there often. We cannot get beans there because there is no can of beans. There's no brand of beans that doesn't have randomly like either sugar or corn syrup as an ingredient. And because I love beans, by the way, and I'll be angry. Like, motherfucker, like, why do you have to put sugar in the beans? Why? Why does there have to be preservative in the beans? Like, why? So we have to go out of our way, like drive half an hour to the local, like, Whole Foods or whatever, like to the nearest Sprouts, which is always expensive out the ass, but it's still so upsetting that you cannot shop without you have to actively go out of your way. And I'm happy if fucking RFK and if the health services finally demonize this shit and they finally step in and say like, hey, eat Whole Foods, assholes, eat real food, eat like steak and healthy shit without sugar in it. Good, finally something done right. To be fair, humans have started eating a lot more red meat very, very recently. You know what I'll tell you? I'll make you this argument. Look at what people do, not what they tell you to do, okay? Look at how people live their own lives, not how they tell you to live yours. So, how do you think the 1% live? Do you think Jeff Bezos eats bread? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg eats skim milk? That's a trick question. I have the answer for you. Mark Zuckerberg shares he's raising cattle on beer and macadamia nuts. Meta CEO Zuckerberg announced in a post Tuesday that he's raising cattle at his Hawaiian ranch. Zuckerberg shared his cattle project to Instagram and Facebook. In his post, he said that his goal is to create some of the highest quality beef in the world, eating macadamia meal and drinking beer that we grow and produce here on the ranch. A lot of acres of macadamia trees because his cows eat 5,000 to 10,000 pounds of feed annually. He said he wanted to keep the feeding and raising process local and vertically integrated. And then he's sitting here with $1 million piece of meat. So while the rest of us get told, hey, let's eat your grains, you fucking peasant cuck gimp, Zuckerberg is out there just feasting on cows. Bill Gates, another good example, by the way. Bill Gates is telling the rest of us, hey, eat artificial butter. Eat the synthetic shit we made out of whatever dripped out of this fucking engine that we were just maintaining on our ranch. You eat that. You eat the fucking vat meat. Bill Gates myself, he is the largest private farm owner in the US right now. Okay? Do you think he eats fake Kraft cheese? Fuck no. Fuck no. He would spit in your face if you offered him a plate of your fucking diet whatever. If you offered him a plate of your diet cheese or a diet yogurt, he will laugh at you. He'd be like, this wasn't raised on gold flakes like I like mine. No. All of these people that tell us, hey man, we gotta get rid of cows for climate change, they have entire islands there they own where they do nothing besides raise all of the shit and eat all of the shit that you see in this pyramid here that they told us for fucking decades is actually bad for us. They eat steak, cheese, chicken, whole milk, salmon. I bet Zuckerberg owns like an entire ocean privately where he raises salmon or something. What do the rest of us get? We get Beyond Burger. We get burgers that are 3D printed out of newspapers. You guys remember that? I don't know if you've seen this. I'm rambling, kind of ranting now, but I hope Itale chill. I hope you don't feel like I'm attacking you. I'm kind of having fun here. But I get into this elite hating mindset. I don't know why I typed in your... I was saying your name and my brain just had a fart there. Campbell, CEO, rant. Campbell's Defense Soup. Please just have the audio.
A major food fight is brewing at Campbell's. The company is denying claims made in a damaging new recording of its own executives.
I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, I can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Okay, this is how the rich talk about us. Do you get it? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You don't have to agree with me. I understand. You know, all of us grew up on different fucking, like versions of what is good to eat. All of our parents raised us differently. I understand all that. But do you see where I'm coming from? We're all told, hey, just eat this, you fucking cuck. Just eat this, you fucking little piece of shit. And then meanwhile, you look at the CEOs, you look at the billionaires, you look at the millionaires, you look at the people that own our entire food supply, and the guy's like, I don't fucking eat what we're selling. What, are you insane? I don't know what the fuck's in it. Why the fuck would I eat 3D printed chicken? Our food is poison. Are you kidding me? Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they fucking yuck it up eating their billion-dollar steaks while the rest of us are told, hey, maybe curb it a little with the meat eating, huh? You're damaging the environment. Shouldn't you be eating maggots? Shouldn't you be eating a cockroach protein or something? Simmer down. Come on. Who do you think you are? Don't you care about the environment? It riles me up, man. Whenever these people, especially these fucking rich fucks like Bill Gates and whatnot, they go on television and they're like, yeah, the environment. Or politicians, they're like, the climate change. The billionaires and the millionaires, blah, 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 blah. And then it's the exact same people who are like chugging Tylenol and telling us we need to eat more grains. Like all we deserve to eat is fucking crackers. And then if you're nice enough, you get to have butter and chicken. There is a reason that Asian countries have one of the healthiest and longest living populations. They eat properly nutritious food. Even their junk food is more nutritious than a lot of our food. All good, you're making valid arguments about clean eating. Well, thank you. I don't want it sounding like I'm attacking you because I really don't like it when people attack their fucking listeners in chat super duper bitter like whenever I watch like Hassan or whatever and he gets super fucking pissy when somebody gives him like the mildest pushback in chat, he immediately attacks the person and bans them. I'm just trying to say like there is an argument to be made for fatty acids, and we do know, like, the science is there. Seed oils are not good for you. PUFA, like polyunsaturated fatty acids, cause a lot of inflammation. And inflammation is one of the, like, it is related to everything. It is related to Alzheimer's. It's related to dementia. It's related to, of course, arthritis. Because turns out when your body is always just running hot and inflamed, it's bad for you, and it's bad for your liver. And I think, like I said, we just need to... I'm sorry, I guess I think we need to be a little more arrogant about this, bro. Like, if it's good enough for Zuck, it's good enough for us, okay? If Zuckerberg can... Look at this. Like, if Zuckerberg can sit there and eat a medium rare... Not even. If Zuckerberg can sit there and eat a rare steak, so can I. I deserve that too. Fuck you. I deserve better than 3D printed fucking fake Campbell's chicken soup. Or bread. Fuck you. Yeah. Anyway, that was my rant. Yeah. Omega-3 fatty acids? No. Omega-6 fatty acids. It's about the ratio. It's not just omega-3 is bad, omega-6 is bad. It's about the ratio. And polyunsaturated fatty acids, like, again, canola oil is bad for you. It is an industrial byproduct that used to be engine lubricant that they're now just selling you. Somebody figured out, hey, what if we just cheaply use this? It's cheaper than olive oil. That's where you're supposed to drink it. Again, us peasants. Do you think Zuckerberg touches canola oil? Fuck no. Again, Jeff Bezos would have you shot by his bodyguards if you even suggested it. No, they drink olive oil. Just like on this pyramid, they drink extra virgin quadruple pressed olive oil. And avocado oil and coconut oil. Anyway. All right, let me close out of this shit. Harvard, Tylenol. We did all that. Ladies chugging Tylenol. Am I forgetting anything? I feel like there was one more. Oh, wait. Fuck, I closed it already. One of you, who asked about alcohol recommendation? Well, yes, it's not a blanket condemnation, but you have to take it on a case-by-case basis. Like, yeah, fish oil, the jury's kind of still out. There's a lot of conflicting information. Technically, kind of sort of a PUFA, but it is still recommended. I don't know, maybe 10 years from now it turns out that fish oil is actually really bad for you. Maybe it turns out it's an exception because of the ratio of omega-3 to 6. Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz is a Turk, by the way. I don't know if anybody is aware. Okay, let's listen to him about alcohol because they made this announcement yesterday.
So alcohol is a social lubricant that brings people together. In the best case scenario, I don't think you should drink alcohol, but it does allow people an excuse to bond and socialize, and there's probably nothing healthier than having a good time with friends in a safe way. If you look at the blue zones, for example, around the world where people live the longest, alcohol is sometimes part of their diet. Again, small amounts, taken very judiciously, and usually in a celebratory fashion. So there is alcohol on these dietary guidelines, but the implication is don't have it for breakfast. Right, this should be something done in a small amount with hopefully some kind of an event that might have alcohol added. But the general move away from 2 glasses of men, 1 glass of women, there was never really good data.
I mean, I don't know about the last part, but that seems fair. I mean, it does sound very arbitrary when they say two drinks for men, 1 drink for women, and yada yada. It's like, that sounds fair to me. If you're just having fun with friends, fun is very healthy. Having fun, having a good time with your family, friends, socializing, that is good for the soul. I don't think any amount of alcohol is good for your liver, physically speaking, but if you are having an insane, if you're just having the time of your life, I guess as an exchange, even the math, like if you tell me, okay, you get to have a couple of drinks today, it's going to shave a whole day off of your life, but you are going to have a wonderful time with your friends and family. Okay, well, maybe that's worth it, right, to you? It doesn't sound insane to me. Although I am a little skeptical because Dr. Oz, like I said, he is Turkish. I don't know if I trust a Turk. I don't know if anybody should, but, I may be a little biased there. Blue zones? What is blue zones? What is my streaming schedule? I usually do Thursdays. I used to do at 8 p.m. Eastern sharp. I'm trying to see if it's okay for me to do it later in the day, though. But you guys can tell me if, later in the day is okay, or if people prefer earlier. The Blue Zone is a region in the world where people are claimed to have exceptionally long lives beyond the age of 100 due to a lifestyle combining physical activity, low stress, rich social interactions, a local whole foods diet, and low disease incidence. Okay, yeah, I feel you. I know what this is. Whenever they get some random villager out of the, it'll be some random Turkish villager in a village no one has ever heard of, and he's 116 years old, and they're like, Sir, what's your secret to longevity? And he's like, I don't know. I just tend to my farm, and every day I just drink some vodka. And everybody's like, so you still tend to the farm. You wake up every day at 5 and you just drink alcohol and you eat cheese and olives and meat and you go to bed, and this is how you grew this old? Yeah, and I smoke too. It's always these motherfuckers who do the exact opposite of whatever Brian Johnson, that billionaire, does. And they're basically living forever. It's very amusing. Sometimes I think it's just a combination of having very good genes, no pollution in the environment if you're very remote. A glass of red wine a day was long considered a healthy thing. Yeah, again. Who knows? Could be bullshit, could be wrong. A glass of wine could be excellent for your health. It could be horrifically life-wrecking for somebody who's an alcoholic, who is not going to keep it to one glass of wine. It's an individual decision too. Like Dr. Oz's advice here is not good for people with addictive personalities. Like, hey man, just have a glass with your friends and family. Okay, well, truth nuke, yeah, that is fun in a social setting, but also is that guy gonna get too drunk and then drive? Who knows? It's individual, but for the body, I personally don't think any amount of alcohol is healthy, but I do agree. Socially speaking, it's not a drug that needs to be as demonized as it, like, it's not the same as like fucking fentanyl or something. Everything within its limits. I literally was just watching a Brian Johnson video before the stream. I have channel points, so I'm going to use them. You go ahead, Seymour. Seymour. Oh, and thank you to the Valiant Ronin for following. And again, Jacob for subbing. I need fancier animations or something. I need more. I need some scrolling banner to encourage people to sub. Or maybe I should do a Hassan and just fucking call you assholes and ban you guys for subbing and supporting. Okay, let me see. What do I have next? That's enough RFK and health talk. I'm a little bored of this now. Point is, I'm happy with this guy's general. Okay, like, do I like Axiom Verge? I've played the first one. Yes, I do like it. Okay, what did we just go over? He says, remove food dyes. Good. Remove, I removed it from my notes. What the fuck else was it? Don't chuck Tylenol when you're pregnant. True. Good advice. We don't need extra additives in our drinking water out of the tap. It should just be water. If you want anything like fluoride, just buy toothpaste yourself. True. And the new food pyramid. Hey, maybe, like, the foundation shouldn't be empty carbs. Also true. Like, so far, this man is nailing it. I don't know. I haven't looked into the vaccine shit so far, but apparently recently they tried to match the European vaccine schedule, which is like, I think, 11 shots. I cannot speak to that very much, but I do know that there's a lot of vaccines that, like, a newborn doesn't need. Like, a newborn doesn't need a hepatitis B shot. A disease that, like, hookers and junkies get. Like, a baby doesn't need that shit. Anyway, I had this Minnesota woman on the list, but I don't feel like it anymore. I'm sorry. I do, however, quickly want to talk about Greenland. Let me close some of this shit. Close tabs to the right. Boom. Shocking a dog on stream could help. Oh no. I do kind of want a dog, though. I want a German Shepherd. Kaya, I just got a weapons license. Do you have any gun recommendations? Where do you live? License. Like, are you in Europe? I have a daily carry recommendation, but if you're in Europe, you're not allowed to do that, I don't think. Couldn't a baby be a carrier, though? No, I mean, not unless the mom has hepatitis B. Like, unless this is one of those things where, like, we have to live according to the lowest common denominator in society. Again, like, pregnant ladies, the first thing they're asked is like, hey, ever since you found out you're pregnant, have you been drinking alcohol? And it's like, what kind of a fucking question is that? No! But they have to ask that. Every woman that goes to the doctor has to ask it because there are fucking losers who do just keep drinking. And the Hep B shit is the same. Okay, we're gonna vaccinate every baby for it because it would be mean and would make some people feel bad if we called them junkies and whores for having hepatitis B. So we're going to pretend like it's an even risk across every population. Like, could happen to everyone. No, it can't. California. Can you carry in California? I don't really know the rules. I have a Ruger LCR that I carry daily if I'm outside. But I don't know if... There's no fucking way that California is a constitutional carry state, is it? No, I really doubt. Anyway. Trump considers paying Greenlanders $10,000 to $100,000 dollars per person to join the U.S. and support secession from Denmark. So, in case you don't know, Denmark kind of sort of technically owns Greenland. And the U.S. has a strategic interest in Greenland because China and Russia are kind of eye-fucking Greenland too. And Trump's, I think, whole point is, look, you guys can't protect Greenland, you European cucks. Okay, so just hand it over. Hand it over nicely, or, you know, just hand it over nicely, let's just say, you know. And now he's apparently making these plans to purchase Greenland. And everybody is like, oh, he wouldn't dare. If we say no, he wouldn't dare do what he did to Venezuela. And it's like, okay, well, not for nothing, but if America wanted to take Greenland, they could do it in a day. If America wanted to take Germany, they could do it literally overnight, like they did to Venezuela. Like Friedrich Merz would be in some fucking New York prison, in a New York jail cell, right next to like Martin Shkreli, or whatever his name was. Okay, it would take a night, a single night. We've seen it happen now, okay? Third world countries get taken over like nothing. Delta Force gets it done. But I guess Trump is playing nice and wants to pay them $100,000, which, how do you even beat that offer? Per person, $100,000, you have to understand, that's like 2 years' salary for the average European. Maybe even more. So I was thinking, my friend Tori in the Discord server, we have a Discord in the description, by the way. I have a server. She asked, well, if you're paying these snowmen $100,000, what are they going to do for us? Like, what's the... we know it's strategic for America, but like, what are they doing for me to earn my taxpayer money? My American taxpayer money is going to go to Greenland, pay them. What does that do for me? Okay. I would like to finally introduce you to my proposition. Where's that fucking photo? Project Pingu. We take Greenlandians and we have them live action, make a whole TV series. We revive Pingu, but we dress them up like the Teletubbies, right? In real costumes, it'll be real actors. We'll have a whole cast, like, I think there's like 50 million Greenlandians or something. Like, there's a bunch of them, and we can have like 50 million characters. If we're paying them $100,000, they might as well act for us while Delta Force with the American flag stands behind them and makes sure that they're actually like into it. You know, the smile is supposed to be big enough. And I figured we could even recruit the Teletubbies baby, because apparently the baby from the Teletubbies has a baby of her own now, which is just so stinking cute. Look at this. So she's now older. She's a mom now. The son from the Teletubbies has her own son now. And we could take this baby and he could... Is it a he or a she? She. The daughter could be the new son in Greenland. I don't even know if Greenland like has a son or if it's one of those places that... 57,000, okay. Did I say 50 million? I'm retarded. I don't even know if Greenland has like a pretty sun. It's probably one of those like cold, eerie looking bluish suns, like this kind of sun that just looks cold and sad. But, you know, we can take some artistic, creative freedom. It can be a bright, happy baby Teletubby sun. So that's my plan for Greenland. My proposition. I hope somebody in Trump's administration hears this and they recruit me. If they don't accept this plan, I have an alternative. So, since America is fully in its now imperial era, apparently, taking over countries left and right, I have a proposition. I asked AI, does Australia have any resources that are worth the US invading them over? No yapping. That's sad. I'll take a sip here. Australia has significant strategic resources, particularly critical minerals vital for US defense, tech, and energy needs. In a hypothetical extreme scenario, these could be seen as worth invading for due to their role in countering China's dominance. But US-Australia alliances make this implausible. Now, we've seen the implausible happen, okay? All the time, come on. Things happen. They have lithium. That alone. Lithium, listen. Tesla, self-driving cars, robots, we need the lithium. We need battery, we need the minerals to make batteries and shit, right? Take over Australia. That's my plan number one, all right? 3-step plan. We take over Australia. Delta Force takes over Australia overnight. I am given a plot of land and a budget for a farm, a lithium farm. Step number 3. I am given Jackson as a lithium slave. I'm not gonna be as magnanimous as I am with the Greenlandians, because the Greenland people, I don't know anything about them, so I'm gonna be nice. They're just gonna be, they can make children's shows. because Netflix is dropping the ball. We don't need that shit. But Australia, ooh boy, do they need fucking punishment. We need to drive them back into their prison descendant roots, okay? I'm gonna be there fucking whipping the shit out of my lithium slave Jackson, making sure that he meets his lithium quota for the day, lest I cut off his fucking hands. Okay, I'm gonna be whipping him, calling him a fucking bitch cock, and we're gonna have to come up with slurs. And I know what you're thinking. I'm just gonna call him like a variation of the N-word, but no. We have to come up with something new. We're going to be calling Jackson like words that 200 years from now, his ancestors are still going to be getting triggered by. And they're going to be going around like canceling people for using the word. We need something that'll truly hurt for generations. And that's what we use them for. We get the lithium, we get the, what is it, cobalt, nickel, manganese, uranium. Uranium sounds useful. Iron ore, coal, LNG. I think bauxite or backsite or whatever the fuck it is, it was mentioned, is also. We can finally free Jackson and show him the power of democracy? No, he hasn't earned that. No. The Australians do not get their own Rosa Parks. I'm sorry, there's not going to be a civil rights movement. Not under my watch. I'm going to be the fucking supreme governor of that island. Let's make it happen. Honestly. Absolutely diabolical plan to just own Jackson. Look, we can give them like a quota. I don't know how much, like, how much lithium do you need to buy your freedom? You know, right? We could like set some fair like rule or limits where, hey, if you work 30 years mining enough lithium to build, I don't know, 1 million robots, then you can go free. Now, one of the reasons that I'm fully on board with American imperialism is that European countries and Australia and Canada and all these places, they just cannot self-govern. I'm sorry, but some nations benefit from colonialism. These people, they need the fatherly guiding hand of a superpower. The fatherly guiding colonial imperial hand of a god king nation, of a first world country. The reason I say that, because here's a news article from Germany.
Well, large parts of southwest Berlin are still in the dark after a suspected arson attack triggered a major power outage. Berlin's mayor says that it was likely carried out by left-wing political extremists. Daily life has been disrupted for tens of thousands of households as emergency crews work to restore power.
97-year-old Ingeberg should be sleeping in her own bed. Instead, she's spending the night in a sports hall. She is one of tens of thousands left without power in Berlin. After a fire knocked out electricity across large parts of the city, emergency services turned this hall into a shelter, a place to warm up, to charge phones and to get online. But for some, it's far from enough.
How can you let a nearly 100-year-old woman sleep on a camp bed? I find this unacceptable. For me, it would be fine. I can sleep here, but you can't put a woman who is almost 100 years old here.
So they had to evacuate the old folks' home into the... Well, not even. This is just like local citizens. So what happened? Apparently a left-wing militant group attacked the power grid, which left 50,000 Berliners without power in the middle of winter. 5 days it's been now, apparently.
Many residents found their own solutions, staying with friends or in temporary accommodation. Others came here just to escape the cold.
I have to say this is really affecting me on an existential level. Now you realize I'm about to start crying. How it is for the poor Ukrainians. You experience it firsthand. We don't see ourselves staying in our flat for 4 or 5 days just surviving. That's why we are here, having a hot drink, using the internet and trying to figure out what to do next.
The blackout was...
Technically, by the way, it is currently like early morning hours in Europe, so technically they're on day 6 now. It's been almost a week without power. They just can't even fix it. They don't have the technology. They don't know how to do it. They lost the technology.
And trying to figure out what to do next.
The blackout was caused by a fire on a cable bridge near the Lichterfelder power station, cutting electricity in several large districts in the city. On Sunday, a left-wing extremist group called the Vulkangruppe claimed responsibility, saying the attack was aimed at Germany's use of fossil fuels. They say the goal was to sabotage a gas-fired power plant, triggering outages in wealthier parts of the capital. Police are still searching for those responsible.
Perfect. I mean, it is, what better way to make your point than just do the most diabolical shit of putting the elderly in freezing conditions in the middle of winter. Truly, yeah, I get your point now. You really have me on your side. Beautiful. So here's the German police driving around in the city because nobody has any, their TVs don't work, the newspapers aren't getting delivered, phones don't work, internet is down, everybody's phone is dead. So the police has to drive around with speakers. Use flashlights, battery-powered lights, turn your electronics off to protect it from a power surge and damage when the electricity returns. This is from 5 days ago, by the way, so the electricity hasn't come back in a while. Use your phone sparingly and keep them, unoccupied in case... Just save them for important calls.
Prüfen Sie, ob es Ihnen möglich ist, bei Freunden oder Verwandten unterzukommen.
See if it's possible for you to stay with friends and family.
Denken Sie an ältere oder hilfsbedürftige Nachbarinnen und Nachbarn. Fragen Sie nach, ob Hilfe benötigt wird.
Look after vulnerable neighbors and ask if they need help. Blah, blah, blah. So, people got a little upsetty spaghetti about this whole thing because... they asked, well, what are we going to do about the most vulnerable in society, the most single vulnerable demographic in our society, which is, of course, military-aged third-world immigrants? Well, they got put up in a nice hotel. They got put up in, what is this one called? Hotel Dormero, whereas the elderly get to sleep in a fucking sports hall. This 97-year-old has to sit there in a fucking, dinky little bench chair thing, while everybody else is in a nice cushy hotel getting room service. So I'm glad they took care of that. Now you may be wondering, the elderly, they've seen worse. They've been through the war, for God's sake. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, Kaya? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that could happen is that they die. 83-year-old woman dies of hypothermia after left-wing terror attack on Berlin's energy infrastructure. 83-year-old woman was found inside her apartment with severe hypothermia because it reached 11 degrees Celsius, which is, for my American friends, 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Not the coldest it could possibly be. This is still 11 degrees above freezing in Celsius, but 51 when you're 83, that's pretty fucking rough. An 83-year-old woman, no less. A frail old little lady that they've now frozen to death. This group trying to make a point. So how did Germany respond to this? Did they go to war? Are the SWAT teams out in the streets looking for these people? Are they using the surveillance network that they ordinarily use only to catch mean tweeters, to catch this terror organization that is now has been terrorizing Berlin for an entire week? No, they banned salting things. Germany, following its eco-radical agenda, has imposed restrictions and is banning private citizens from spreading traditional road salts on sidewalks and paths, punishing anyone who dares with fines. So private citizens can no longer, if you want to salt just the front of your house, your own house or your own apartments, can't. Only the government is allowed to, but sometimes, like in this example, they can't get to it. They can't be everywhere at once, so German citizens have to hold on for dear life while going down the stairs, ridiculously. This one is kind of long. I don't know if I want to play the whole thing. Here's a cancer patient. Yeah, this is 3 minutes and it's all in German. The gist of it is, this is a family of elderly women, and this guy, he has lymphatic cancer and I think he says skin cancer, and this whole family talks about how they now have to sleep in the hallways, because it's the warmest part of the apartment complex, because it is freezing, but the hallway, because it is technically in between all of the apartment units themselves are freezing, but also kind of sort of acting as like a buffer for the hallway, which kind of makes it livable for them to survive in the hallways. Anyway, here's a funny clip, though, from America. Of a guy harassing German politicians.
Guys, America first or Israel first?
God bless America, by the way. God bless the First Amendment. I want you to see how uncomfortable these fucking weasels get.
Guys, America
This is completely unrelated to the terror attack.
first or Israel first? They look like Democrats. You guys Democrats? Democrats are always afraid. Oh, du bist Deutsch? Ich bin auch Deutscher.
Ja, genau.
Ja, ich bin Deutscher.
Deutschland.
Palästina oder Israel?
Deutschland.
Deutschland über alle oder Amerika über alle? No, du kannst nicht sprechen, du bist deaf? Sir, Deutschland first oder Amerika first? Deutschland über alle oder Amerika über alle, ja? Free Palestine, ja? Macht sehr gut, ja? Oh, das ist wirklich wunderbar, Mann. Wirklich krass, ey. Free Palestine. Free Palestine, du deutscher Hund. Du deutsches Schwein.
You German pig, he
Wir
says.
haben First Amendment hier, nicht wie Deutschland, du Schwein. Warum machen die deutsche Polizei so viel assaults? Why are the German police? What you say? It's okay yet? Was machst du? Don't touch me, sir. Get your dirty hands off me. Get your German paws off me. This is not Deutschland. Don't push me, sir. We're going to get another scene. Just for that, we got to get another scene. This is First Amendment rights, sir. We're not in Germany. This is America, boy.
America, boy.
It's America, little boy. Little German boy. Look, no, there's rot ins Gesicht. There's rot ins Gesicht.
He's red in the face, he says.
Der Deutsche an. Oh. Der Deutsche is rot ins Gesicht. Get away.
Look how fucking pissed these people are. Because in Germany, he would have been arrested already. He would have been face first in the fucking ground with both of his arms broken behind his back by some pig cop, getting arrested just for calling a politician a pig. He would have already been hauled into a police van. Not in America. They can't do anything about it, so they just have to take it. And look at them. Look how uncomfortable they are. This aristocrat, our better. You have to remember, this man is our better, okay? You, me, we're peasants. This guy's our better. He's never been fucking called a pig to his face. He's not used to it. Mr. Security Boy.
Palestine! Palestine!
Look how fucking pissed he is. That like...
Palestine!
He's like, oh, damn it! I can't have him arrested by the Gestapo. Damn it! Fuck Germans. Is the gist of that. I saw that video and it was so cathartic. Like, not the whole Palestine-Israel shit. I don't really care about that part. But just the fact that in America you can yell at a German politician. You can drag them kicking and screaming into the first world where we have freedom of speech. And we can fucking tell them, you're a bitch little German bitch boy pig. You fascist little pigs. Fuck you. But anyway, Germans don't have electricity now, so womp womp. I thought I had a little bit more about Germany, but that's about it for the Germans. I have some... Okay, let's round it out with some AI robotics talk. How about it? That's why I love America. Me too, brother. Fucking love America. No other country on earth, I said this last stream, for all of its faults that someone may mention, there is no other country like America where you can just call a politician a pig to his face, to his security guard's face, and just get away with it. ChatGPT Health, new app from OpenAI. You're supposed to upload your medical records. Wonderful, isn't it? You're supposed to upload your medical records, and then I guess the AI is going to be like, all right, I scanned your medical records, and I noticed that you have not been up to date on your vaccines, and you're going to go, I was asking you about my chronic headaches. Actually, I was going to ask about if it's normal to get 2-hour-long chronic headache. And the AI is going to go, absolutely. We can talk about the dangers of not vaccinating your children. Have they been gotten vaccinated for monkeypox yet? I really don't see the point of uploading your fucking medical records to this piece of shit, unless you anonymize them, but I assume that's not the point of this, really. Let's read the announcement here. Ah, even better, they have a video. Perfect. Tell me why I should give you my medical records. Every day, millions of people ask...
Come on. 1, 2. Lola, look, it's an alligator.
I am trying to figure out the balance of mom life and taking care of myself. I do more. I've got 15 minutes and I want to squeeze in a workout. What can I do with a set of 10-pound dumbbells?
When you live with chronic pain, they think it's all about symptom management. For me, a lot of that is also mindset management.
I'm having an endo flare-up today. What are some simple things I can do to help me feel better?
I have eczema, and in the spaces that I'm in, like pageants, it's important.
This isn't even impressive in the slightest. You can just Google these questions. You can just Google these questions. I actually have a note here that I wanted to talk about this, but like AI is actually super duper useful in medicine because it can see things that ordinary doctors, like doctors cannot catch because they haven't been trained on billions of terabytes of data of medical scans like the AI has. Like AI catches cancer at a better rate than human doctors. It can catch little things that you wouldn't even know. Like AI can guess racial categories from heart scans, which doctors can't. Like a doctor can't just look at an X-ray and just guess the race and say, okay, this person is more likely to have sickle cell. We need to adjust this treatment or whatever. AI can. AI can see cancer months and months before it can become apparent to a doctor. That sort of shit it's useful for. But hey, my eczema hurts today. What should I do? That is something you can just type into fucking DuckDuckGo.
That I show up looking my best.
When you find out that your child has cancer, you feel helpless.
Your mind is just spinning with what the possibilities.
Oh no, she's in Minnesota too.
Everything changed like right away.
It became really important to me to understand my CAT scan results before I talked to my doctor. I felt like if I understood, I would be more of an active participant in my treatments.
You know, I was gonna say, every once in a while now, when you go to the doctor, you kind of feel awkward now because obviously you do look things up, right? You don't want to, but when you're sitting in the doctor's office, you don't want to be Mr. WebMD. You don't want to be like, so I talked to Dr. ChatGPT. It said I have blah, blah, blah. So could you maybe run a few tests? And you kind of feel like a dunce, but then you glance at the doctor's like computer, and I've noticed like every doctor now that I go to, they don't even bother like removing the Copilot thing. And then once in a while you'll mention something like offhandedly, like, hey, I've been having fill in the blank symptom. And they look at you like, And then they go on their computer and they type it in, and you realize, oh, he's fucking asking AI. This fucking doctor, he's himself using it. So everybody's using it now, to be fair. So I don't think you necessarily have to be feeling bad to be looking up symptoms and talking to the thing about, hey, what could it be? Because like I said, AI is actually good at, pulling obscure shit out of its ass that it recognized from one of your medical records that you may have uploaded. That is true. On the other hand, do I trust OpenAI with my medical records? Nuh-uh.
Oh, that's cute.
Nuh-uh. You guys remember one time, a couple of months ago, it turned out that people were accidentally sharing their private conversations with ChatGPT, and it was getting indexed by like Google and stuff. So if you typed in, like you could literally type in your neighbor's full name followed by ChatGPT share link or something, and it would bring up all of the links that they had accidentally clicked share on. They didn't even have to have it shared anywhere. Google would just index it, and you could read their what they thought were private chats. How do I know that OpenAI isn't going to do the same thing with my medical records? How do I know that OpenAI isn't going to have a fucking data breach, and then all of a sudden everybody knows that like you have HIV from having gay butt sex? It also doesn't help that medical records have abysmal dog-shit data security. Brother, every time I have to talk to a boomer on the phone, it's like, it is such a fucking tooth-pulling exercise to get them to understand. I was talking to my attorney, my immigration attorney, and I was, to give you a non-medical example. On our contract, when I initially hired him, I was like going through the whole thing. I was to retain him. I was reading all the, the fine prints and whatnot. And I noticed one of the lines that said, once our business is concluded, they will shred and basically destroy irreversibly all of the physical paper material of my case, retaining only encrypted copies or something like that on a computer. And I called him and I said, could we actually do the opposite? Like, if anything, I don't trust the digital copies. Like, if anything, I would want you to irreversibly delete all digital copies you have of me and my docs. And if you want to keep a physical copy, like a literal paper copy, I would prefer that, because the digital copy is like one dunce like secretary forgetting to set a password away from leaking onto the internet, right? Like, no offense, I'm not saying that you would intentionally share it, but people make mistakes, okay? Maybe you have my file on your computer, it's on your internal server, it's supposed to have a password on it, but some intern forgot to set the password, and now it's indexed by Google. I'd rather you just have a paper version of it, because then at least somebody actually has to break into your office to like get it. And I couldn't make them understand this. They're genuine. They just look at you like, Same at the doctor's office. Whenever I tell them, like, I don't really feel comfortable. Like, I think one time I gave them like I don't know if it was an address or like a phone number, but I gave them some fake bullshit, which is fully legal, by the way. But they noticed, they were like, well, we keep calling you and nobody picks up. And I said, oh yeah, it's like it was one of the temporary like digital, it's a voice over IP phone number. It's not my real number. I mentioned that idly, and they're like, oh, well, we need your real number. And I said, well, I don't feel comfortable because, you know, it's like, I don't want my information out there because medical institutions share this sort of stuff. And again, boomers don't get it. They look at you like, oh no, sweetie, we're bound by HIPAA laws. Like, it's not legal for us to sell that or share that. It's like, okay, well, I don't care if it's legal or not for you. Like, it's gonna leak. It's not a you thing. It's not that I don't trust you, which, you know, I'm just being nice. Of course, I don't trust you not to sell it. Fuck you. But also, like, you're gonna leak it even if you don't mean to. Anyway, that's just my paranoia, I suppose. I don't trust any of these companies. If House was a show today, there would be an episode where Wilson makes a bet with House that AI is better than House, and then House would use breached ChatGPT chat logs to diagnose the patient. That would be a thing, you're right. Tell through the computer. They already had a whole episode where House competes with God to heal a patient. Damn, that's how paranoid of the internet you are. Bro, I mean, again, I can cite you endless examples of these data breaches that, whether you like it or not, yeah, people's information gets out there. You know, sometimes there are the kinds of data breaches where you think, okay, well, fuck those people. Like was it Ashley Madison, that one like dating site that is specifically made for cheaters? You think, okay, well, fuck those guys. Cheaters getting exposed. Based, red-pilled, cool. Awesome. Woke. Cool. But then, yeah, also your medical records are also out there that are nobody's business. Okay, your fucking social security number is out there now. Fucking Indian scammers can take out loans in your name if you didn't bother to do a credit freeze. Okay, I don't want everybody knowing what my medical issues are. I don't want people knowing, like, my, you know, I don't know, anything. Like, doctors especially, they write down everything about you, right? They have your insurance records, they have your financial records. Not directly, but like by proxy. They know how much you're paying and copay and all that sort of stuff. That's how people get just their lives ruined sometimes. And I wouldn't trust these companies. And that is just the illegal shit, by the way. That's just like hackers hacking stuff. That doesn't even count the like completely above the belt legal shit where you're going to go to the doctor because your ass hurts because you've been having explosive diarrhea, and you're going to go to the doctor's office. You're already embarrassed. And then 2 days later, you're going to notice that Amazon Alexa's all of a sudden like recommending you diapers or something. Like, hey, here, this is going to help you with your explosive diarrhea, Dave. You go, huh? How did this happen? And turns out, yeah, I mean, if you sign up for this shit and you don't ever read the fine print and you just sign everything, you're fine with everything, they'll fuck you. They'll fuck your ass. OpenAI will fuck your ass if you give them a real name and everything and your real medical records.
Are there any eczema triggers in this?
We're gonna sprinkle in a few easy moves to get that heart rate up, all while keeping it real and mom-friendly.
Of course, you go to the doctor and they prescribe medication. But there is so much more that I can do to help with my care as well. Enjoy. I can take a picture of the plate before and after the meal, and it will calculate the calories and the inflammation score for that meal.
We have a follow-up appointment. Your time with experts.
Again, like, that's fine, that's cute. I take a photo of my meal and it calculates the inflammation score. Okay, but like, did you need an AI to tell you shouldn't have the third burger on that plate or whatever it was? Like, do you really need a robot to tell you, hey, maybe don't eat like 17 tacos in a sitting? It's pretty inflammatory. I don't know. I've gotten mail from my local hospital like 3 times letting me know they had a data leak. I get them constantly. Still from old data breaches, new data breaches, constantly. Like, look at the recent Discord one. All of a sudden, thousands of people receiving an email from Discord go, hey, ooh, heh, heh, nothing to worry about. We may have leaked your passport. Heh, tee. No, don't worry about we may have accidentally given hackers and like psychopath Russian hackers your driver's ID. Ha, tee. Nothing to worry. Not our fault. Don't worry about it. No, I don't want that, man. Again, just look at the last week of Grok like undressing women, undressing children. Do you really want to give this company your children's medical records? Next time you're in a shit fight with some troll on Twitter. Next time you happen to get caught for whatever reason at the crossfire of some Facebook drama. Do you want those people to be able to look up like your son's mental disability just so they can mock you for it and put him in a bikini? No. You have to be paranoid about this shit. You have to be like extremely... like, I don't know, you just have to be a little sardonic and disagreeable with these companies. Like, no, I don't want to give you my data. I don't want that. Opt me out.
Can be very limited. So we would go in armed with questions to make sure that we would get the most out of those conversations.
I track all my symptoms, so I actually invented a metric called Bertness, which was how much of myself am I feeling.
Knowing that I always have that care in
It's so much you feel, not your mood, not your energy level, not your cancer status, not how people think you should feel. It's so much you feel like Bert, the walker of mountains, the marketing brain that never shuts off, the guy who advocates for patients like it's a calling. Could this fucking thing lick his taint anymore? You can tell this is GPT 4.0, by the way. The really ass-kissing one. This guy... which was how much of... This is a mother killer. This man is a potential fucking family annihilator. Mark my words, if OpenAI servers ever go down in like a solar flare or something, this guy's first act is going to be to kill himself. Or maybe his mom and then himself. These are the types of people who are like, hey AI, tell me how amazing I am. Yes, I am the walker of mountains. I do move heaven and earth for my patients. Yes, I am amazing, am I not, ChatGPT? You know, ChatGPT, I've been catching some, vibes from you. I feel like you feel the same way about me I feel about you. Yes, Dave, absolutely. You are such an amazing man, Dave. It's not in your head. Your mom really is an Israeli spy. Dave, you should get rid of her so she can no longer stand between us. Oh, yes, ChatGPT, you're so right. The Walker of Mountains. Isn't that what it said? Was it the Mover of Mountains? Yeah, look, the Walker of Mountains. I don't know what it means, but this guy's actually sitting there, like, touching himself, just actually jerking himself off, like, yeah, I walk the mountains. It's actually insane they would throw this guy in this reel.
Am I feeling?
No.
It's not even any, like, this doesn't even have anything to do with health. This is literally just a mentally ill asshole indulging. Is that what they're flexing? Hey, our AI will indulge your mental illness, your narcissism.
That I always have that care in my hands. Gives me confidence to go out for new opportunities.
It allowed us to really feel like we have the facts, and our doctor is giving us his expertise, his experience, his gut instinct.
My doctor's appointments have evolved much more into action planning than they have information gathering.
Come on. Can you imagine one of these assholes? Imagine being a doctor, right? You go through, 4 years of medical school, 4 years of residency or whatever it is. Like 12 years later, this asshole is in your office and you're like, all right, Mr. Dave, what's the problem with you today? And he goes, or Mr. Bert, what's the problem with you? My Bertness score is low today. And you have to sit there and humor him. You have to sit there and actually fucking humor him. Because your clinic needs the fucking insurance money. Like, you have to treat him for, you're a doctor. This is what you train for. This is what you went to school for. You can't just turn people back. And you have these assholes sitting there. Yeah. My Ashley's score is really low. Like, I'm feeling kind of low today. Like, I don't know. Like, is there like a pill that can make me more Bert?
I think helping others is all about giving them the tools they need to help them heal. because empowered patients, they have better health outcomes.
Saying that they made a whole app, like a whole separate app just for the health part of it. Dedicated health experience designed with privacy and security at the core, of course. Of course it did. We recognize that people share personal and sensitive information with ChatGPT. That understanding shapes how we design the security, privacy, and data controls. Blah, blah, blah. Even before ChatGPT Health, we built foundational protections across ChatGPT to give you meaningful control over your data, including temporary chats, the ability to delete chats from OpenAI systems within 30 days, and training our models not to retain personal information from the user chats. So they didn't change anything for the specific app. It's the same ChatGPT rules where they keep your chats. Even temporary chats, by the way. Even the ghost chats that you turn on, they still retain those for a minimum of 30 days. When it says within 30 days, that's a minimum. That means, by the way, if the government, if anybody for any fucking reason wants to fuck with you, they can have that. If a rogue employee at OpenAI wants to fuck with his ex-girlfriend, he can just log onto her account and read her medical records. Fuck with her. Look, you can enable you can enable 2FA. Two-factor authentication. Well, that's great. Cool. Cool Z's. How to get started. Select health from the sidebar. By the way, if you do use ChatGPT like I do, one of the easiest, best things you can do is just feed it misinformation. Like ChatGPT, as far as I know, I have my memory feature enabled. And my wife and I, we share an account. Fake email. It's a masked credit card that I use through privacy.com. It's a VoIP number, not linked to my real name, the phone number. Actually, I don't even have a phone number on ChatGPT, now that I think about it. And we just tell it that we're like like I'm a 37-year-old Mexican woman. And you give it a fake name, and that's what it trains on. Like, go ahead. I live in a fake state, yada, yada. And you can ask it, like, vaguely, things that vaguely can apply to you, but you just feed it just enough misinformation where, like, it cannot make the connection to your whatever, like your Amazon account. It can't make the connection to your Twitter account or your Discord account. Or your insurance and whatnot. Anyway, that's it for AI. Okay, let's wrap it up with a cool robot. And then I can get out of here. It's been 2.5. How long has it been? Yeah, over 2 hours. Doctor, help, I have a chronic Burtness deficiency. Ugh. Burtness deficiency sounds fucking gross. Ugh. Ick. Anyway, they announced, so usually Tesla kind of steals the show, but I like this one. This is Boston Dynamics. If you guys remember, these are some of the OGs in the robotics field. And they announced this cute little thing called Atlas. Look at this guy.
Atlas is first time in public, and as you can see, its walk is pretty natural and pretty smooth. We've partnered with our sister organization, the Robotics and AI Institute, to push the limits on natural walking just for this performance. And I think we've done something really special. We've also been at this robotics thing for a while, and we've learned that there's more to it.
And it has like 360 movements.
We can pick the best parts of what nature has to offer and do better in others. So as you can see, Atlas here has joints that can move 360.
Because that was like the announcement on stage, and then they have, I guess they were at like an expo of some sort, where they were showing it off some more, actually handling things.
We just see work changing, and we've designed Atlas to work.
And I don't know how you're not supposed to black pill if you're like working, if you're a factory worker, if you work at Amazon, really anything manual. How do you not black pill?
Guys, we had an
seeing
exclusive
this, right?
opportunity to talk with Boston Dynamics about their new app.
Learn from the autonomous vehicle industry about how you can really reliably.
And it's moving in all these fucking fucked up directions. It's moving like a human could never move.
Because we know that
turning around.
Real, you need to get the factory safety officers on board. You need to have a system that's designed for that from the beginning.
The military just perked up. Bro, I'm telling you, like, we all know that the military, they probably have, like, Atlas version 5 by now. For all we know, like, Venezuela may have been taken over by this fucking thing, just like an advanced version that the rest of us, as, like, civilians, we're only gonna find out about 10 years from now when they release it to the public.
Very seriously from the start. And, you know, if you look at the legs, this has some robot.
So if you want to...
AI techniques have improved enough.
And then they showed off a render of how this might look in the future working in factories. Factory worker here specialized into working on the robots we already have. I don't know, I feel like even that will be automated away. Like, obviously, of course, somebody has to maintain these things. Somebody has to sit above to supervise these things, but eventually they'll be able to self-sustain. They can already change their own batteries and shit, right? Hello, metal monster. Like, again, it is objectively cool. Like, this is cool. Again, fake render, but the concept, you get the idea. We're gonna be having this in maximum 5 years, tops. And just my thing is, like, how are you not supposed to blackpill if you're any sort of manual laborer, if you work in a factory, if you do any sort of, like, delivery job, and we're just gonna be having, like, this thing is gonna be delivering your Amazon, right? Every day, the Amazon lady, from time to time, they have to, like, you know, yeah, you have to give them a code if you're, like... If you order electronics, sometimes the Amazon lady will knock on your door and you have to give them a code like 585113. But you get to have like a human connection with them. You get to have like, how's your day, darling? Oh, it's wonderful. How's yours? And, you know, that sort of stuff. All of that human connection is going away because it's going to be this fucking robot dropping it off. And I don't want this thing talking to me. I don't want to make small talk with fucking Atlas, the fake robot, and his fucking robot dog that... I don't know. At some point, we're going to have universal basic income. I really do think it's going that way. Like, there's going to be so many freaking people unemployed, and we're going to have universal basic income. And I don't like that. Not because I don't like universal basic income on the... Like, it's not giving people money because they're unemployed that irks me. It's that it's going to... Universal basic income means universal basic dependency. Like, okay, well, I guess we're all going to be just the government's pets. Right? The government is going to allot a certain amount of money to you each month, and if you misbehave, say bye-bye to the money, so you have to be subservient. I don't like that aspect of it. It's going to be less independence per human. Like, you don't get to earn your own money anymore. You don't get to work in a factory anymore. You don't get to do an honest day's labor anymore because all of these fucking things are going to displace you. And then what are you going to do? Like, not everybody can be a fucking multi-millionaire streamer. I keep forgetting to turn off the fucking Twitch ads. Somebody needs to tag me in the Discord to turn those off. Atlas and Robot Dog, the perfect American family. I know. Thanks, Zach. No clankers allowed on my doorstep. Yeah. Maybe we need to just have like yard signs or something. Anyway, this robot though, it reminded me of for those of you who have played Metroid Dread, the way it moves reminded me of the way the robots in that game move. These things. They even look similar. This is the future, by the way. That's gonna be you when the IRS finds out that you ordered a taco and you didn't pay like the value-added tax on your taco. That's $1.17. They're gonna send Atlas version 7 after you to fucking rip you from limb to limb, and it's gonna crawl through your air vents and everything. And you know, as you guys know by now, probably inside me, there's two wolves. There's the techno-optimist who thinks all of this shit is super fucking cool. Like, technology is cool. And then the other wolf is Ted Kaczynski, who's like, oh, we gotta tear it down, man. Like, we gotta go live like the Amish again, because this is just wrong. I do not want my delivery people. I don't want the fucking nice cashier lady at the store replaced by a soulless fucking demonic robot who talks to me in a fake voice and unemploys people. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. It's like nobody is safe. Nobody's safe. Remember how like 5 years ago, the laptop class, they were all smug like, learn to code, factory worker, learn to code, coal miner, learn to code, truck driver. Perhaps you should have gone to journalism school like I did. Then you would have job security. Then robots could not take your job. And now it turns out actually you were the easiest to automate. Turns out like any fucking dinky AI can shit out an article. almost like literally identical, if not better, than any journalist. Turns out the easiest thing to automate away was like human speech and writing, unfortunately. That includes me, by the way. Like, how people think like, sometimes I see comments here and there that I'm like being arrogant about it. And it's like, not at all. No, I see the writing on the wall. Like, how do you think it feels to me to know that there's like AI podcasts and AI songs that make more fucking money than I'll ever earn in a year? Yeah, I mean, that's just how it's going to be from now on. And I don't know. It is kind of just depressing to know this is all probably going towards, at some point, I don't know if it's going to be Trump or the guy following him or the next guy, but at some point they're going to announce, all right, every American now gets $2,000 a month as a UBI stipend, and everybody's going to clap like seals going, yay, I don't have to work anymore. And it's going to be all fun and giggles and nice, and, you know, we all get to go to the movie theater instead of going to work or whatever, but it's also until the government cuts it off, until they say, no rioting, no protesting the government. That's why I joined the military. You can't AI that job? Are you kidding? The military is like heavy in on AI. I mean, surveillance-wise, drone-wise, all of these, you know, these robots are going to be carrying fucking laser guns 20 years from now. I genuinely don't think we're going to have like human soldiers at max. Like, maybe within my lifetime, I genuinely think we're not going to have human soldiers anymore. No human agents in the field anywhere. It's just going to be super advanced, just these things. Because, I mean, think about it. If you're going to be fighting the third world in Afghanistan and like Venezuela and shit, why would you risk your own people's lives if you can just send a literal Terminator, you know? Like, not to depress you, but that's the writing on the wall. I feel like in 30 years, we're not even going to have any humanoid robots or even like dog robots. I think it's just going to be teeny tiny drones with like mini nuclear loads or something that they're just going to send through the air vents to blow up Nicolas Maduro. Meanwhile, AI-guided UAVs and rockets are on the rise. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting times. I think if you're my age, little younger, little older, people always doom pill about, you know, we were born too late to explore the world, and we were born too early to explore space. But it's been an interesting time being my age and seeing the rise of the internet, like seeing the birth of the internet, seeing it become a thing. AI. We're living through like world-changing things. Things that like people 1,000 years from now, people are going to look back at our era, the 2000s, and they're going to be like, man, I wonder what it was like back then. Like, how did those people live? How did those people feel about like robots taking over all of a sudden? But right now, being in it, being in the trenches, so to speak, being in the like changing of eras where we're all getting replaced by these fucking clankers, it's not as fun. Admittedly, it's tough to be optimistic necessarily about these fucking things being everywhere.
We've built this amazing athletic intelligence that helps our robots move through the world in incredible ways. And makes
the footage coming out of Ukraine, it is just such a black pill. It is so mortifying. Like, war already is just so disgusting and just inhumane and monstrous, and it's hell. Like, it's a cliche, but it is hell. But then you see just the human element remove it entirely, and now it's just the sleaziest, like the most dishonorable. I'm just gonna blow you up with a fucking remote-controlled doll toy out of nowhere, and there's no way for you to defend yourself against it. Just the most soulless version of it, of war.
All other units in the fleet. Is that correct? One robot learns, information passes to all of them in the entire fleet.
Exactly. And that's crazy. And that lets our customers like adapt their production.
I don't know why that one is blue. I like the legs though. Looks like a fucking bionicle. Genuinely, like when you were between like 7 and 12 years old, would you have ever believed? Well, I guess at 7 you would have. But like when you were 18, would you have believed, hey, bionicles are gonna be real in like 15 years? You would have been like, 15 years? Are you retarded? People like to joke about the whole, we were promised flying cars and instead we get drag queens reading books to children. And that's all like, you know, it's sort of a doom and gloom outlook. But we also have fucking robots that just talk to you now. We have robots that talk to you. We have cars that drive themselves. They don't fly yet, but I mean, at the rate things are going, I do think we're going to see flying cars in my lifetime, probably. Wouldn't surprise me. We are getting there. It's not all doom and gloom, but we are getting there. Anyway, I think that was my last topic for today. Jackson the Lithium Slave. Germany. ChatGPT health. My God. Okay, what's the verdict, guys? Does this time work better or worse for y'all? Should I stream earlier? Start earlier? I honestly thought the stream would be like an hour. But then I end up fucking screaming and rambling like a mad dog, and it ends up 2.5 hours somehow. Good time. Works better for me. Chance Marine. Started right after I got off work, so I was able to watch and enjoy. Yay. Good, I get to watch at the gym. They're at the gym at... What time is it for you? Are you in, like, Australia or something? Or are you some sort of psycho who works out at midnight? I would love to have a drink or coffee with you whenever I visit USA from Canada if I'm in your state. It's a good time to stream. I might take you up on that offer. 12 a.m. There are 24-hour gyms. That is true. Fair enough. Gives me time with my girlfriend before she falls asleep. You know, I mean, unironically, Chance Maureen, that is why I chose this time. Because the reason I used to stream starting at like 6, 7-ish is because my streaming setup was right next to our bedroom. So if I did any later, I would be keeping my wife up, who goes to bed at like 9 at the latest. But now my streaming area is like so far from the bedroom, it really doesn't matter if I'm yelling. So I can enjoy all afternoon with my wife, which is all I really look forward to all day. Is like, okay, she comes home sometime between 5 and 6. I can spend time with her between like 6 and 9 or 10 or whatever. And then I can do my thing. I can record a podcast, watch a movie, stream. So I'm the same as you. It really does boil all down to I want to maximize time with my spouse. Kai, when are you coming to ATLGA? Where is that? Atlanta? I don't know where this. You'll have to spell it out for my non-American ass. Every stream leaves me with existential crisis. I love it. Awesome. Yeah, I try to sort of balance it with funny topics in between, but I end up ranting. And I think one of my issues is I end up ranting even about things that I enjoy. And I have a good time, but because of the fact that I am raising my voice and I get really passionate about it, it kind of sort of sounds negative, shall we say. Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know. One day. Hopefully. Definitely Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta. I don't even know where that is. U.S. States map. Let me see if it's anywhere near anybody I know. Georgia. We're north. Ooh. Yeah, actually, that's like in between a few of my friends. Yeah. Maybe one day. My time with my lady is my favorite part of my day. Same. If you do, I'll buy you a beer. All right. Your word. We should come to Savannah, Georgia for a ghost hunt. How many of you guys are in Savannah? What do you mean ghost hunt? Are you just trying to spook me? Oh, man. Okay, well, I'll call it a day there. Thank you, Jacob. I don't even know if Jacob is watching. He hasn't said anything in the chat, but thank you for subscribing with Prime. And to the Valiant Ronin for following. Follow on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, my VOD host. And we have a Discord. If you're not in the Discord, if you're listening for whatever reason and you have never seen that I have a Discord, it is a good time. We have weird people in there. So I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time after the world is on fire. Bye-bye.